because there's a lot to recommend. Pittsburgh is again the best team in the American Conference, if not the whole NFL. And to beat the Steelers, you have to slow down Jerome Bettis. Beasley, he already has more rushing yardage this season than the whole Cincinnati team.
Well, Bettis has found a home. 7 times this season, he's rushed for over 100 yards, and as the numbers say, 47 more, and he's got 1,000 for the season. And also, look at those numbers. When Bettis rushes for over 100 yards, the Pittsburgh Steelers win.
Cincinnati 2-0 under new coach Bruce Coslett, and the Bengals' confidence is best reflected in their young quarterback, Jeff Blake, who told us yesterday he expects to play very well today because, as Jeff put it, I always play well against the Steelers.
Well, he doesn't lack for confidence, and he certainly does not lack for talent. He's got a hot hand. They've got to watch him. And like he said, whenever he plays the Steelers, he does get pumped up. You see the numbers, 877 yards, but look at the 1-3. He's won 1 game against them. And he's got a special challenge because Ken Blackman replaces Scott Brunfield, who, thank God, is recovering from his spinal cord injury from last week. And the rookie left tackle, Willie Anderson, has got to do a better job against Chad Brown of the Steelers. Last time they played, Chad had 4.5 sacks.
And the Steelers have just won the toss, so Pittsburgh will be receiving to start the game when we come back to Cincinnati. Bruce Coslett and his Bengals ready to kick the ball off. Doug Pelfrey, who was so heroic last week in the win at Baltimore, and Bill Cowher, he talks about the season being in 3 stages, and this is the critical one when a team really has to make the big push towards the playoffs. The Steelers coming in with a 7-2 record, contending for home field in the AFC playoffs. Pelfrey ready to kick it off. Ernie Mills and Eric Pegram are back. Here's Pegram, who ran one back 91 yards last week. But not this time, as Pegram is taken down at the 19-yard line. Pegram, who had a 91-yard kickoff return against the Rams for a touchdown, is taken down. And here comes Mike Tomczak with some of the best passing numbers in the National Football League, a quarterback rating of almost 86. And a big part of it has been the excellent play of the offensive line. Dermontti Dawson's the best center in football, maybe the best offensive lineman. He's that good. Jerome Bettis has been sensational, as Beasley points out. Needs 47 yards to get to 1,000. The Cincinnati fans kicking in big early as Tomczak goes to Bettis, and Jerome Bettis finds his way into the secondary of the Bengals. He's ahead for a gain of 9 yards in that first down run. Tackled by Rico McDonald. Copeland, Wilkinson, Johnson, and Smith, the defensive front. Copeland and Wilkinson are the best. The linebackers, Tovar, a very active middle linebacker. Ashley Ambrose at left corner has 6 interceptions this season. Big Daddy Wilkinson, the #1 pick in the whole league out of Ohio State 3 years ago. Digging in over the center, Dawson. It is 2nd and 1. Bettis gets ahead for 3, and Jerome Bettis is close to the 33-yard line, and the Steelers have a first down. Tackled by middle linebacker Steve Tovar.
Jerome Bettis is a fun player to watch play football. He needs 35 yards now, Don, in order to crack the 1,000 mark, and that's the game plan for Pittsburgh, to feed the bus. That's what a lot of people call him. They'll feed the bus today.
And the bus loves it in Pittsburgh. Says it's a players' organization, a great place to be. Now on first down, Tomczak and the Steelers back to Jerome Bettis, and this time the Bengals are looking for 36 and break the block, says the strong safety. Bracy Walker, number 27, comes in to make the hit. Gain of maybe a half yard, if that, Beasley.
Bracy Walker is a key component to the Bengals defense. He creates the 8th man in the box. And when a team lines up in the National Football League and their goal is to run, the defensive coordinators today put an extra man in the run force, and usually it's a strong safety.
Tomczak, who's now thrown, is completing 62% this season. He stands in, lofts the ball downfield, and overshoots his tight end, Mark Bruner. And that brings up 3rd down and almost 10 for the Steelers on this opening drive.
Well, 3rd and 10 is what offenses try to stay away from. You'll see the tight end come down, and number 56, Ricardo McDonald, puts himself in a position where it has to be a perfect throw, and it was not a perfect throw.
Bengals a dangerous defense, although they're not great out real high overall. They are among the elite in taking the ball away. They have 27 takeaways this season, including 20 interceptions. Hamzak will be throwing now on 3rd down and 10. Here is a blitz. If the Steelers pick up nicely, a throw downfield, and the ball is separated from Charles Johnson on a hard hit by Ashley Ambrose. So the Steelers, after 1 first down, see their opening drive stall, and they'll punt the ball.
Ashley Ambrose is becoming one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Watch the timing here, and just as the ball hits Johnson, Ashley Ambrose comes through the upper shoulder to force the incompletion.
A rookie from Colorado State, Greg Myers, is back to return the punt. See the snowflakes in the air here in southern Ohio as the ball is hit down to the 16-yard line. Myers moving quickly ahead, gets close to the 29-yard line. And now Jeff Blake and the Bengals offense is set to go as the NFL on NBC continues.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By FedEx, just what you want, just when you want it. With FedEx, it's the way the world works. And by the new Lexus ES 300, the road is calling. Answer it.
Back in Cincinnati, the Bengals going on offense for the first time as the Steelers bring their linebackers up. 3 wide receivers in the game. Jeff Blake on a quick timing throw lets it go long, and good defense on the left corner by the All-Pro Rod Woodson as he was shooting along at Carl Pickens. As we look now at the offensive line, Willie Anderson, the #1 draft pick of the Bengals out of Auburn. Derek Brill's coming on at center after some injury problems. Garrison Hurst is a 4-yard-a-carry runner. Cothran, the big back from Ohio State, blocks for him. Pickens and Darnay Scott, 2 of the best deep threats. And the tight end, Tony McGee, hasn't caught a lot of balls, but he has blocked. On 2nd down, the run is to Garrison Hurst, and the Steelers sweep that under. As we look now at the Pittsburgh Steeler defense, Joel Steed, 93, the nose tackle, led that assault of tacklers. Buckner and Johnson up front with him. Chad Brown, who's never been to the Pro Bowl, is going to be there next February. Rod Woodson and Willie Williams, 2 good corners and 2 excellent safeties in Lake and Perry. And there is Chad Brown, who comes into the game with 7.5 sacks according to the Steelers stats. The league has having a terrific year. Steelers showing blitz, and Jeff Blake knows it's coming. Now they come with a 4-man rush. Blake steps up, and Jeff Blake throws on the run and makes the connection for a first down to David Dunn. So Jeff Blake improvising in the teeth of an all-out rush from the Steelers, and he gets the ball ahead to the 45-yard line for a first down.
Look at all of these guys faking the blitz. Cornell Lake, number 37, coming up and then backing out. Really what helps Blake is his athletic ability. That's an 18-yard gain, and because they called all kinds of audibles thinking it was going to be a blitz, it's a tremendous effort by the Cincinnati offense.
And David Dunn, who is a very big receiver at 6'3", 220. Jeff Blake play fake and stands in. He's going long again. Darnay Scott can go high. He comes down with the ball and loses it at the 5-yard line. So they're attacking Rod Woodson early. The guy was named to the all-75-year team of the NFL. Number 26, Rod Woodson, has been targeted twice on long balls.
Don, if you want to make a statement, you attack the strength of a defense. I don't know how smart it is, but there was a clear opportunity right there. You see the 2 guys collide, and that throws Scott's jump off just a little bit.
The Bengals feeling strongly, their coaches do, that they have to get up early if they can. Pittsburgh is just too strong defensively to come back down if you get down to them. Here's a quick out. Ball has gotten over to David Dunn, and he gets out to the midfield line on a 2nd down play. There's a gain of 4 yards. Willie Williams, the right side corner, makes the stop.
Well, I think this is a super offensive game plan that we're seeing unfolding so far for Cincinnati. They've moved the ball around. They tried 1 run, but I think what they know their best skill is the big play. With Darnay Scott and Pickens and Blake, they throw the ball up straight up in the air. Blake throws it very high. You see his numbers for the season, and his athletic wide receivers often come down with it.
Now the Bengals, as a 3rd down and 5 comes up, see something they don't like in this tough Steeler defense, so they call a timeout.
This is the NFL on NBC.
With Beasley, Reece, this is Don Criqui. Back at Cincinnati, 6th play of the drive coming up for the Bengals in the scoreless first quarter. They have the ball, 3rd down and 5 at the 49-yard line of Pittsburgh. The enemy now in the backfield. Chad Brown aligning to blitz. He backs off. Rolled out and a throw, and Jeff Blake has to trigger his throw errantly as the rush was on. David Dunn was his target. And the Bengals' opening drive stalls, and so they'll punt the ball to Pittsburgh.
Well, that's what we will see from Blake today. He'll have to throw on the move, and that time his throw just a little bit off. He had to move out of the pocket to his right. A little flick toss that was just a bit off the money.
Andre Hastings is back for the Steelers. Kick returns, an area Pittsburgh would like to pick up on, although they got the big kickoff return last week. And a sensational play by Eric Pegram for 91 and a touchdown. Here is the ball hit left foot by Lee Johnson, well placed. And Hastings wisely lets it go, and it hops into the end zone for a touchback. So the ball comes out to the 20-yard line, and there the Pittsburgh Steelers go on offense for a second time. The Steelers, number 4 defense in the NFL, stopping Cincinnati after the Bengals did move the ball early.
You know, you see Jerome Bettis, this guy, look at him compared to the rest of the league. He's got 7 100-yard games already. Everybody's talking about Davis of Denver and his performance. We saw Ricky Waters in the big win over the Cowboys, but Jerome Bettis is the story of the league so far. When this guy rushes for over 100, Pittsburgh wins.
He's done it 7 times, and they've won all 7 of those games. He averages 4.7 a carry. Back to Bettis on first down, and Jerome Bettis fights his way back a little bit, but he ends up losing about a yard on the play. His outside linebacker James Francis, number 50, led the charge.
Well, Artie Smith makes this play. Watch number 70 and how deep he gets in the backfield. There he is right there. He forces the play so deep, and Bettis to bounce back so deep to avoid him that there's no play.
So Francis gets the tackle, but Artie Smith, a 4th-year defensive end from Louisiana Tech, forces the run and shuts it off, and now it's 2nd down and 11 for the Steelers. 9:45 to play first quarter and no score. Hamzak working some wonders to get the ball to Bettis, but there are no yards as Dan Wilkinson, Big Daddy, shuts down the run. It's 3rd and 10. Hovar also on the stop.
Now, Tom Zach shows tremendous athletic ability. Sometimes a lineman will step on his foot. I believe the lineman, the center, DeMonte Dawson, stepped on his right foot. Great job to get the ball to Bettis, but look at Big Daddy and company right there in the perfect position.
Bettis so far has run the ball 5 times for just 13 yards. Those 6 sacks for Wilkinson, a lot for a defensive tackle. He's double-teamed every play. Hamzak lines up in the shotgun. Here comes the rush. Hamzak fires, and the ball caroms off his receiver as Big Daddy Wilkinson was coming hard right up the middle of Tomzak, who had to throw the ball hard and low.
You just watch the big one. They put a couple of people on him. He gets rid of the blocker immediately, and there's Big Daddy. Big Daddy just had a son this year, Little Daddy, Dan Jr. Right. Big Daddy is playing.
Josh Miller, as you see, his first punt was for 49 yards, stands in and hits the ball well downfield. Moving up on it is Corey Sawyer, as Sawyer takes it across the 45-yard line, and then a wave of tacklers hits him hard as he's taken down on the play by Lethan Flowers of Pittsburgh. Bill Cowher, in his 5th year as coach of the Steelers, he's had his team in the playoffs all 4 previous years. And Steelers now up to their best starts in '83. Under Cowher, the Steelers are 4-0 here in Cincinnati. Bajana Carter is the lone back as here comes the blitz from Osowski. Good fake by Blake, and he throws to an open man, Harold Pickens, who turns out on the corner, Willie Williams, and the gain is for 12 yards. Let's check out the Oilers' fast start at New Orleans as we go to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Don, at the Superdome, Chris Chandler off to a terrific start for the Oilers. He drops the snap, picks it up, then finds Chris Sanders coming over the middle. This is a 42-yard touchdown. Then Chandler came back with a 12-yarder to Ronnie Harmon. Both extra points were good. The Oilers lead the Saints 14-0 in the first quarter, Don.
Thank you, Greg. The Oilers starting the day 2 games behind the Steelers in the AFC Central. Handoff. Garrison Hurst finds his way into the Pittsburgh defense for a rare good running game against this Pittsburgh defensive front. Garrison Hurst is taken down at the 35-yard line on the play. A gain of 8 yards, Beasley.
Oh, very interesting development right here. This is very good blocking up front with 2 rookies in the offensive line. Look at the hole between McGee. McGee really opens up a nice hole between McGee and Walters during the blocking. Garrison Hurst, like he's done all season, he's having a real good season, 4 yards a carry.
They got Jason Gilden, the outside backer, out of position. Finally, Kirkland made the tackle. It's 2nd and 2. A lob throw downfield going for the ball. At the 15-yard line is Carl Pickens. A gain of 21 yards on the play and a first down for the Bengals.
Well, the height advantage here, you're looking at a 5'9" cornerback, Willie Williams. He's in great position, hand fighting all the way. But Carl Pickens, you can argue for this guy being in the top 5 wide receivers in the National Football League. A 7-foot high jumper. He's 6'2" versus 5'9", and he wins that battle.
We talked to Willie Williams about his height disadvantage. He says it is a problem, but I can get up. I can dunk a basketball at 5'9", but that time the 7-foot high jumper got higher. Here's a throw and a catch, and it's dropped by Carl Pickens. As on that play, quarterback Jeff Blake had a little too much pop on his fastball.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers need to come up with the play because this Bengal team is riding a tremendous high, 2 wins in a row under new coach Bruce Coslett right there. And you let these guys get some confidence with a nice drive and controlling Bettis in the first 2 drives for Pittsburgh, and the Steelers could have a problem on their hands.
Blake throwing the ball well so far, Beasley. He's at 4 of 8 for 55 yards. The Cincinnati coaches talk how the Pittsburgh defense does not give up big plays, or rarely, but they've been trying to hit big plays all game long, has Cincinnati. Here's a throw and a catch down to the 10-yard line. On 2nd and 10, the gain is about 4 yards. Rod Woodson makes a quick hit on Carl Pickens. Pickens, a guy that would like to catch 10 balls a game on the average, have that perfect 160 for the season.
Well, that's what Blake told us. He said the only problem with Pickens is that he wants the ball, and I understand it. He makes things happen when he gets it.
The Bengals challenging. No score in the first quarter. 6:06 to play in it, and the clock running. John Carter and Eric Bieniemy, the running backs, they'll stay in to pick up blitzes, and then they'll swing out. The Steelers shifting in and out. The blitzers lining up. And the play clock wound out. So that'll set the Bengals back to the 15-yard line and bring up 3rd down and 12.
Don, when a team is going back and forth like that, the quarterback is trying to figure out, are they blitzing? Are they playing man for man? And that often happens. I mean, Jeff Blake allowed the clock to run out there while he was trying to figure out exactly what Pittsburgh was doing. And that's what makes Pittsburgh so difficult. The zone blitzes that they run, you can't figure out what they are doing.
Now Mike Carey, the referee, stops play. It looks like the Steelers are going to call a timeout. They want to get their defensive lineman straightened out with 5:41 to go in the first quarter. Jeff Blake to Carl Pickens has been a productive quarterback producer. 29 times since '94 they've connected for scores.
And you compare them with the all-time greats, and you look at Young and Rice, you would think that that would be the top combination in the league since '94, but nope, it's Blake and Pickens. You know, also, Don, excuse me, on that last play, the cornerbacks were 6 or 7 yards lined up off of the receivers, Pickens and Darnay Scott, because these guys, what they like to do in the red area inside the 20-yard line is throw these lob passes into the corners to these high-jumping wide receivers. To stop that play, to stop that fade, Pittsburgh is playing their cornerbacks 5 or 6 yards off. They're doing it now.
Darnay Scott is at the top of your screen, is also a guy who can really elevate and get up in the air. Pickens is looking his way. He fires hard and makes the connection to David Dunn at the 2-yard line. 3rd and 13. The gain is for 14 yards and a Cincinnati Bengal first down.
This is impressive.
Yes, it is.
Don is coming from the slot move inside, goes down, breaks out, simple little play, but well conceived. And you know, we were told that Jeff Blake would roll out of the pocket because of the tremendous pass rush that Pittsburgh is known for. They will move the pocket to a new location.
Very cold in Cincinnati. Snowflakes in the air. Here's a blitz, and Blake falls down. Might have tripped over his own center as the Steelers put tremendous pressure on with a straight up the middle blitz.
Boy, that's always one of the ugliest plays in football. It's a nightmare for the quarterback, but the offensive centers, the offensive linemen are moving quickly, stepping back to get in position. And we saw Tomczak with a step-on fall, and now Blake with a step-on fall.
That brings up 2nd down and goal for the Cincinnati Bengals in the scoreless first quarter. Olszewski again comes on a blitz. They pick him up. Blake gets time, pump fakes, and throws a lob ball away because of good coverage on Pickens by Williams. And that brings up 3rd down, and now a penalty marker comes in. Yeah, they're calling intentional grounding, which, as you know, is also loss of down. So that will bring up 3rd down and goal.
Well, to intentionally ground the ball when you're in trouble, you have to be outside of the pocket. But I honestly thought that a guy could throw the ball away. He threw it too far, too much away.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 8. 10-yard penalty.
Wow, that's a tough call. Jeff Blake has got to throw it, you know, through the back of the end zone or closer to the wide receiver.
Dunn and Pickens each have 3 catches so far for the Bengals for a combined 73 yards, most of it in this drive. But it was 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, and now the Bengals Beasley find themselves back at the 15-yard line of Pittsburgh.
Well, this could be a part of this game that Cincinnati looks on in total disgust unless they can make something out of this.
Steelers consistently changing their defenses under Dick LeBeau, who coached here in Cincinnati for 12 years. Throw to the end zone and not close. Well done by the Pittsburgh defense. So the Steelers hold and the field goal unit comes out for Cincinnati.
You know, Blake is asking the referee, now what's the difference between that play and the last one? But the difference is truly that Blake threw that one over the receiver's head and closer to the receiver.
Doug Pelfrey, who had a phenomenal game at Baltimore last week, kicking one 49 yards into a gusting wind to tie the game, and then soon after hitting the game winner to give the Bengals their biggest come from behind win ever on the road. They were down 21-3 in the 3rd quarter before they rallied back.
Well, kicking is a lot of confidence, and he's got his confidence going in after last week.
He's hit 13 of 15 this season. This one is up. It gets through the upright, and so he is now 14 of 16, and the underdog Bengals have the lead as the NFL on NBC continues. The Bengals offensive line blocking well until the end of that drive when they were kind of overrun by the Pittsburgh blitz. But the Bengals do come out with the first 3 points of the game on the field goal by Pelfrey, who's now ready to kick off. Back for the Steelers are Ernie Mills and Eric Pegram. Pelfrey out of the University of Kentucky drives the ball into a swirling wind. It's coming down to Eric Pegram at the 6. He's got room to run. Pegram crosses the 20 and gets all the way out to the 32-yard line. And Tomczak and the Steelers get good field position to start their 3rd drive of the game. What a start for David Duval yesterday. He's got the lead after day 1. It's 7 of the greatest names in golf are in hot pursuit. Coming up next, the exciting conclusion of the EMC Golf Skills Challenge right here on NBC. After the 25-yard return by Pegram, Tomczak and the Steelers try to move the ball out from just outside their 31. Bettis, the lone setback. He swings out of the backfield. Tomczak throws, and the ball is taken in beautifully by Hastings. just off the turf. Andre Hastings apparently was touched when he caught the ball by a defender, so they're going to rule him down at the 49-yard line. Well, there's a gain on the play of almost 20 yards.
Well, that was an excellent catch. And the reason that this zone was open, number 27, Bracy Walker, was up close. You see, he almost, Bracy Walker, 27 there, almost got his hand on the ball as he came back.
At the lower portion of your screen is Charles Johnson, who leads the NFL with over 19 yards per catch on the average. But Tomczak goes the other way. And a good straight-up hit is made by Jimmy Spencer after a gain of 4. Now let's go back to Greg in New York to find out about the Bills and the Eagles.
All right, Don, in Philadelphia, the Eagles had a 7-0 lead until Bills special teams came up big. Rookie Gabe Northern with the blocked punt picks it up, returns 18 yards for the touchdown with the extra point. The Bills pull even with Philadelphia at 7-7. Don.
Thank you, Greg. Here in Cincinnati, 3:37 to play first quarter. Bettis goes to the run and finds his way through a gap. On a 2nd down and 5 play, he's ahead for what appears to be a first down.
See, this is what makes Bettis so good. Now, he is basically stopped at the line of scrimmage here. But the real good ones, see, he stopped 1 yard beyond the line of scrimmage. But the good ones find a way to fall forward.
As Jerome Bettis moves closer to that 1,000-yard season, he talked about how he loves the Steeler organization. He said the talk throughout the league is that it's a players' organization. And he said he really realized that when they went on their first road trip this summer for a preseason game. And he said, I saw Mr. Rooney, talking about Dan Rooney, the president of the Steelers, go in to coach, and the big linemen sit in first class. In fact, he said all the coaches went back.
Yeah, the veterans on the Steelers take up all the first class seats. And they're the owner, and the head coach is moving to the back. That is a players' organization.
You saw the promo a bit early about Notre Dame and Pittsburgh coming up. The Pitt Panthers next Saturday on NBC Sports. Dan Rooney was saying, Beasley, that it looks good that the Pittsburgh Steelers, as the Fighting Irish did a couple of weeks ago, are going to play a game in Dublin this summer, probably against the Chicago Bears, as tight end Jonathan Hayes is helped off for Pittsburgh.
At the left side of the screen, there Hayes is number 85 going down. He's a veteran, 12 years in the league out of Iowa.
So Jonathan Hayes, the backup tight end to Mark Bruner, but he's on the field much of the time in the power 2 tight end formation. Goes off with apparently an ankle or right leg injury. But the Steelers have a first down, their best drive of the day, down 3-0 late in the first quarter. Tomczak stands in. Here comes the rush. Tomczak fires the ball away. Now you see Tomczak, that looked like grounding, but he was clearly out of the pocket so he can throw it anywhere he wants to.
Now see, that ball was intentionally grounded.
And a marker is down in the Cincinnati backfield, a penalty marker.
Well, I thought a defensive back might have made contact as they were running downfield, but we'll see what they say. Maybe the offensive player pushed the defensive back. But Tomczak was outside of the tackle box, so that was legal.
Mike Carey, and that was the call. Mike Carey, the referee, signaling offensive pass interference, the first penalty of the day.
Well, that's not one that you get very much as a defensive back. So the wide receiver running into the defensive back who had position.
Pass interference against the offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Very interesting call. You don't get that one very much.
You call it on Kirk Botkin, the tight end who came in to replace the just injured John Hayes. Well, the ball is now set back to midfield. It is first down and 20 for the Steelers. Tomczak, who suffered a mild concussion last week, drops to throw. They pick up the blitz beautifully, and he fires over the middle, and it's separated from Charles Johnson on a big hit by cornerback Jimmy Spencer. Watch Jerome Bettis pick up the blitz here.
Well, Jerome, and this is a courageous blitz, number 1 by number 27, the strong safety, Bracy Walker, and Bettis basically lifts him up in the air.
Walker's an acrobat, though. He ended up on his feet after he was knocked in the air.
Boy, that was a nice blitz pickup.
And now another Steeler seems to be shaken up. That's Charles Johnson, who comes into the game with 34 catches, 3 for touchdowns, but most impressive is the 19.2 yards per catch. That's the best in the NFL. So there might be a hand injury.
Well, Johnson took his eye off the ball at the last second. He could see that he was about to get hit. And I don't think it's a hand injury. I believe that just at the point of contact, he gets hit right in the groin area. See, right down low, I think that number 22, the cornerback, Jimmy Spencer, kind of grabbed him in that middle area.
Now they're looking at his left leg a little bit. The Steelers hope to have their complete wide receiver core intact today. Thigpen, who had 85 catches last year, has only 4 so far this year because of a nagging injury, but he feels 100% now. And Ernie Mills is back and ready. And now Charles Johnson goes down.
Thigpen had a torn hamstring that just kept bothering him. So we were told that he would be very much in the game plan.
Some other scores coming in as Charles Johnson is attended to. The Packers and the Chiefs are tied 3-3 at Kansas City. Miami up 7-3 on Indianapolis. Jets lead New England 7-0. Tampa Bay's up on Oakland 7-0. A day of upsets, at least in the first quarter. There's Ernie Mills, a very important part of the Steelers. He was hurt last year in the Super Bowl. Hasn't played since before today.
Well, just on the injury here, now it looks like they are working on Johnson's legs. So watch his legs and see if there's a hyperextension and overextension. I can't see anything. Hopefully he's okay.
Unfortunately, though, C.J. Charles Johnson is still down for the Steelers at the 35-yard line. When play resumes, it will be 2nd down and 20 for the Steelers as they trail Cincinnati 3-0 here in the first quarter. 2:48 to play in it.
Well, that could be one of those mysterious AstroTurf injuries, because I didn't really see anything twist or hyperextend. He is protecting his left leg, though. He's putting a little pressure on it, so maybe he's okay.
A very important part. Another of those terrific Colorado players that populate the Pittsburgh Steelers roster. They've gotten some great ones from Boulder, Colorado, have the Steelers. And the return of Yancey Thigpen certainly is underlined as Charles Johnson goes off with an injury, but Thigpen, who was the best Steeler receiver last season, back in the lineup. Thigpen going wide to the left to the top of your screen as the Cincinnati fans really kick in. With the Bengals blitz. They don't. Good play. A great throw by Tomczak on a slant pattern. He gets the ball over to Thigpen and down to the 37-yard line. A gain on the play of 14 yards.
Well, we talked to Thigpen yesterday. He was very excited about coming back in, and there he is. Really, Tomczak makes the play. I mean, he put the ball where it's very difficult not to make the catch. What a super throw.
3rd down and 6 arises for the Steelers. Big Daddy digging in. He's been tough up the middle, lining up on Dermontti Dawson, the all-pro center. Here comes the rush. Tomczak from behind, free ball, and the Bengals have it. Wilkinson recovers at the 34-yard line. Bo Orlando was coming hard. Ricardo McDonald was blitzing as the Bengals throwing everything at Tomczak on long yardage.
Well, Ricardo McDonald, number 56, makes the play. This is super blocking by the Pittsburgh offensive line. Even better coverage. And you see Ricardo, number 56, with Big Daddy recovering the fumble. Here's Big Daddy. And they had Big Daddy covered. They had everyone blocked. But the coverage for Cincinnati was so good that Tomczak had nowhere to go. Ricardo and Big Daddy coming up with the plays.
So the first sack of the day of Tomczak and the first turnover of the day for either team. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Quick out to Carl Pickens. He angles up the sideline. Gets to the 41-yard line. Now back for more on the Colts and the Dolphins to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Don, the Colts had a 3-0 lead on Miami until Dan Marino hooked up with O.J. McDuffie, 12 yards and a touchdown with the extra point. They are now into the second quarter. It's Miami 7 and Indy 3. Don?
There is Rico McDonald, outside linebacker. His defensive coordinator, Larry Peccatello, says he's the kind of guy you love playing for you. Smart. And above all, he said, on the field, he hates the enemy.
Oh, I like that.
Got to have that attitude. Here is a run as Kajana Carter runs the ball on 2nd and 2 and gets ahead for 4 yards, and a late marker comes in. Jerry Olszewski was on the tackle for the Steelers. Mike Carey, the referee. Might be Brenston Buckner on a face mask. John Robeson, the field judge, threw the flag. As the clock is stopped now with 1 minute and 29 seconds to play in the first quarter. Just 3 points have been scored so far.
Foul. Unnecessary roughness on the offense. Number 21. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Ouch. That's Eric Bieniemy, and every time I've ever seen Eric Bieniemy play, he does the right thing. Here he is doing the wrong thing. They got him. He took a shot at Woodson, missed the shot, and then came back and knocked him down toward the end of the play. That's a big penalty.
And the ball is all the way back now to the 31-yard line, and that brings up 2nd down. And the Bengals need 13. Jeff Blake at quarterback comes in, having completed 55% of his throws this season, 10 for touchdowns, a 74 rating. Last year he started in the Pro Bowl last February for the AFC. On 2nd down, the blitz comes. The throw is picked off by Chad Brown of the Steelers. He's got room to run, turns to the outside, and Chad Brown is all the way down to the 25-yard line. So Brown, who personally destroyed the Bengals offense in the first meeting this season with 11 tackles, 4.5 sacks, an interception, a fumble recovery, comes up with a big play for Pittsburgh.
Well, Blake wanted Carl Pickens on the slant route, but Chad Brown steps right in the path of the football, and that's a perfect interception. And the run back, he makes every correct decision, almost like a running back. I mean, he got everything out of the return.
There's his numbers in the last game. You see all those numbers we were just enumerating.
1 interception, forced fumble, 4 pressures. That might be the greatest single day in football.
Jerome Bettis bounces to the outside, and again the Bengals with Ricardo McDonald, who has 4 sacks, and he played in the University of Pittsburgh, did McDonald, a 4th-round draft choice who's been playing like an all-pro this season. He makes the stop for virtually no gain.
Well, Ricardo in perfect position here, but also look at number 90, Tim Johnson, hustling around at the end of the play. These guys are flying to the ball.
Jimmy Spencer gave up his body. He was the first one to make Jerome Bettis with a shin-high block tackle. Bettis has now run 7 times, just 18 yards. Hamzat play fakes beautifully, throws the ball, and he comes in short. Looking at Hastings, Artie Smith coming on a big rush, number 70. These Bengals, Beasley, are pumped.
Yes, they are. And James Francis, number 50, almost made the same play that Chad Brown made. If he could get up another inch, good pressure on the quarterback. Really good pressure on the quarterback. There he is, big Artie Smith. I think he liked that play.
He had reason to like it, but the Steelers are now in field goal range. They too have a very effective kicker in Norm Johnson, who's hit 17 of 21 this year.
Cardell Stewart's at quarterback.
Number 10, Slash Stewart, rolling out. And man, is he leveled. John Copeland. Looked like it might be a knockout tackle, but Slash bounces up. However, the Steelers drive stalls, and now they send out their field goal unit for a long try. Look at this hit.
Look at the hit.
Copeland from Alabama. Big John Copeland, who made that thunderous hit on Slash Stewart, was the 4th player picked in the entire draft when he came out of Alabama 4 years ago. Now Norm Johnson will try a 46-yard field goal to try and tie the game for Pittsburgh. He's 2 for 2 from 40 plus. This one's on the way, and it hooks in. And the Steelers are on the board. It's 3-3 on the opening play of the second quarter. So it has been so far low scoring and high intensity hitting.
Well, that play by Copeland is a momentum, pump up your teammates type of play.
Yeah,
I mean, to get away with that interception that Blake threw and Chad Brown picked off and to survive it is incredible. Now take a look at this. This is a wide receiver blocking a defensive lineman. So it's a problem from the beginning. Ernie Mills doesn't even slow him down. And then a pancake shot, and I'm laughing because Slash is okay and he knows what football is all about. He wasn't hurt, but I mean, what a tremendous effort.
Copeland, there he is, out of Alabama. He and Eric Curry, who's with Tampa Bay, came out the same year, both high #1 picks.
Can you imagine having 2 defensive linemen like that on your college football team? Gene Stallings had a gift.
Philadelphia has now taken a 10-7 lead over the Bills. And Kansas City up on Green Bay. Jeff Hill and David Dunn are now back for the Cincinnati Bengals as the Steelers are ready to kick off for the first time in the game with 14:54 to play in the first half. And the Jets with a 14-0 lead on New England. Bill Parcells thinks that Adrian Morrell, who just scored that touchdown, is one of the best running backs in the league, and nobody talks about him.
Well, he's got the moves. He's got the 2-footed cut like all the great running backs, but he hasn't had anything around it. But that score will change.
Norm Johnson ready to kick it off. Bruce Coslett talking to us yesterday about we have to play better than we really can perhaps to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said the big thing Pittsburgh doesn't do on defense is allow big plays. He said they want you to go a long 12-play drive, and they're pretty certain they'll stop you somewhere along the way, or one of your own mistakes will. A mistake and an interception, a great play by linebacker Chad Brown set up the Steelers' tying field goal. And Norm Johnson is ready to kick off. Temperature in the low 30s, chill factor in the 20s as the ball is hit down the near sideline. Whoa!
I don't believe he touched that ball.
Error by Jeff Hill. He won't be kick returning anymore this day, I would guess.
He never should have touched that ball. He touched it and basically bounced it out at about the 3-yard line. That's killer.
He might not return a kick again this season.
Yeah, you got to know that the momentum of the ball is going to take it out, which would be in their favor. They'd have to kick it over. Yeah, that's Joe Wessel, the special team coach, letting his player know that he made a mistake in very kind and pleasant, relaxed tones.
Kind of mistake that can change the ball game, because this Steeler defense is now going to be coming hard.
Boy, that hurt.
Linebackers shooting gaps to stop any run, and if it's a pass, they'll be trying to continue right through to Jeff Blake. Blake living dangerously on first down. He throws, and it's incomplete. Chad Brown is called for a foul, but not a bad foul at all, as it's at the 3-yard line. It does give the Bengals a first down, but they only get a couple of yards.
Well, but Chad Brown is reading everything perfectly and was in the right place. He read it too good. He was there too early.
Automatic. First down.
Not a bad play, really, by Brown. He only lost 2 yards. They did get the down over. The ball is just outside the 4-yard line.
Boy, look at him right there reading. Watching a hard read on the quarterback is what we call it. Looking right at Blake, trying to get in the line of his shoulders, and he was right there.
Blake 7 of 14 for 81 yards throwing the ball in this tie game. 3-3. Quick out, Earl Pickens. And Pickens works his way out to the 10-yard line, so the Bengals, in a sense, get out of jail with a little room to work. They'll have third and short yardage coming out. Takeaway is a critical area of winning football. The Green Bay Packers, the best in the league so far, but look at Cincinnati right behind them and the Steelers right behind them.
Yeah, that's coming into today and very impressive. And Cincinnati's record defies what they've done when it comes to takeaways. There's the defensive coordinator, Larry Piccatello, one of the best. He set up and drew a lot of plays for us yesterday. It was like I was back in the league. A lot of fun.
Running back blitz. They get the ball to Pickens, and he works his way out on the quick out for a first down. As Blake had a hurry, the Steelers coming with a cornerback blitz on the play.
You know, Pickens has caught a lot of these little quick patterns because the defensive backs play so far off of him. Look at the difference in separation between receiver and cornerback, respecting his speed. And also another point, and it happened on the last play also, Chad Brown plays so fast. I mean, he was there to help with the tackle, even though it was missed by the cornerback, Williams.
They talk about Brown's intensity and his consistent pursuit. One of the reasons he makes so many plays, he pursues every play no matter where it is on the field. We talked to him about that yesterday, so that's just the way he grew up running to play football. Knows how does you handle the whistle, and he could be an all-pro player. Pickens, who has 6 catches, is now coming off the field. It looked like he was dazed on that last hit.
Well, you know, he was hit by Chad Brown. I mean, just at the line, Brown threw his entire body into him. He's caught 6 passes for 56 yards already today, so they need him back in there.
14:20 to go in the first half. Don Criqui with Beasley, Reece in cold Cincinnati. The game sold out after a slow start. The Bengals looking like one of the better teams in the AFC, at least the last couple of weeks, with their come-from-behind wins. And now Jeff Blake has to burn a timeout, which you don't like to see on first down, but he has some confusion on the play that was sent in.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. By the U.S. Army, be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be. And by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer, we are driving excitement.
You know, the end of the last play, Bruce Cosler says, come here, to his quarterback. Come here. Don't do that. That's when Blake burned the timeout. Little confusion on the play. So they talk it out, and we'll see what they came up with.
Blake, who was sacked 10 times by the Steelers in that last meeting earlier this season, sacked just once so far by the Steeler defense. On 1st and 10, handoff Garrison Hurst. And he works himself out to the 24-yard line as we check out the Raiders and the Buccaneers and go back to Greg in New York.
All right, Don, 7-0 Bucs lead until this. Jeff Hostetler, the pitch to Harvey Williams, who rolls right, throws his second career touchdown pass, an 18-yarder to James Jett. And with the extra point, the Raiders and the Bucs are tied at 7, just under 3.5 to play in the first half. Don?
Thank you, Greg. Looks warm down there in Tampa.
Yeah, it looks good down there. It really does. You know, you can always tell when a running back's going to throw a pass. That little fake, little lean over.
Here's Pickens back in the game. Pitch back. Garrison Hurst cutting back. And Hurst, who was the #3 player picked in the entire draft when he came out of the University of Georgia, picked by the Cardinals, shows his stuff for a first down gain of 7.
Well, this is a Major League NFL cutback. Watch him find the back door. Nothing's there. That's a sharp cut, and it allows him to get enough for the first down. Garrison Hurst, that's a big-time play. And you can't say enough about this offensive line for Cincinnati. It's surprising what they're doing with 2 rookies in the lineup with the injury to Brumfield.
Yeah, they have Ken Blackman at right guard from Illinois and Willie Anderson from Auburn at left tackle. Another timing throw, long ball. Pickens is out there, bumped nicely on the play. Pickens is fouled on the play as there is a penalty marker down. Willie Williams, they're targeting him at 5'9" against Pickens, who you pointed out, Beasley can get up with the best of them with a 7-foot high jump mark at Tennessee as a collegian.
Well, this is a stop and go by Pickens. There's a pump fake in the play by Jeff Blake in case the cornerback is looking at him.
Illegal contact on the defense, number 39. 5-yard penalty. Automatic.
Call it on Darren Perry.
Well, no, that's the mistake. He meant 27, but you see the stop and go, and that's a good job by Willie Williams, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, because had he not done that, that would have been a touchdown. When you're beaten cleanly, sometimes it's best just to tackle the guy. Take the first down and not give up the touchdown. At least his team can line up and play now.
Now the ball is positioned just outside the Bengals' 35-yard line. First down and 10. Game tied 3-3. Bengals have to go the long field in this drive. You'll recall it started at their 3-yard line. Hand off. Garrison Hurst turns it up and in. And like all the great ones, he can find a gap and then accelerate into it. Finally, Carnell Lake runs him out of bounds, but does so at the 44-yard line.
Very interesting offensive play. Every signal to the defense was, hey, folks, we're going left. But then, see, watch everything come back to the right side. A very good pull block by number 74, Rich Bram, and a nice gain. Hurst has got 5 carries for 30 yards and off to a real good football game.
And he brings with that run a 2nd and 2 for the Bengals. Game tied 3-3, second quarter, 12:08 to play in the half. This time, Garrison Hurst is rudely greeted by Brenston Buckner, the 305-pound defensive end. It reminds him he just tackled him if he'd forgotten quickly.
Oh boy, 305-pounder out of Clemson, and he beats Joe Walters, number 63, very quickly on the play. No trash talk.
Cosley talking about the chess game he would be in with his good friend Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator of the Steelers. They coached together here for a long time in Cincinnati. LeBeau was the defensive coordinator for 8 years. Here's a throw. David Gunn has the ball and loses it as Deion Figures, number 21, another one of those Colorado Buffaloes on the Steeler team, puts a thunderous hit out, and the Bengals drive stalls, and out comes punter Lee Johnson.
Well, the gang's all coming, total blitz, so they had to run a hot route, and look at Deion Figures. That's a great break on the ball, super anticipation, forcing the incompletion.
Andre Hastings way back at his 15-yard line. Johnson can hit it a long way, averaging almost 47 yards a punt this season, and he could have some wind gusting at his back. Swirling wind on a cold day in southern Ohio. A knuckleball hit downfield. Hastings comes up on it, and the ball caroms out of bounds. Not one of Johnson's best. And the Pittsburgh Steelers will start at their 30 in this tie game as the NFL on NBC continues. Beasley, you talked at the outset about Bettis. When he gets 100 or more, the Steelers win. We'll look at today so far.
Well, that's the reason the Pittsburgh's offense is sputtering. They are a running team, and they can't run so far today.
Tomczak fires on first down. A well-thrown ball is coming up with the play is Andre Hastings, and he's ahead for 13 yards and a Steeler first down out to the 43-yard line.
Defensive backs are really giving these receivers, both sides of the ball, a lot of respect. That's about a 9-yard cushion by Ambrose. Excellent technique, though. Look at the turn on the cut, and then a lot of times these cornerbacks miss the tackle in a close situation like that. So Ambrose at least gets him on the ground.
Tomczak 4 of 9 today throwing the ball for 51 yards. Throw, ball 3 in the air. John Copeland got a hand on it. The Big John, they fanned his fire before the game. He's been pumping hard.
Well, your left defensive end this time. And John Copeland gets up with both hands to bat it down.
That brings up second down and 10 for Tomczak and the Steelers in this tie game, 3-3. Jerome Bettis finds some room, and Bettis isn't done till he's out of bounds inside the 35-yard line.
Wow.
The biggest play of the day for the Steelers, a 28-yard run.
His fullback, and he talked about the value of the lead blocks that he gets from Lester. Look at number 34. That's good by everybody. All the linemen. Lester puts Ricardo McDonald on the ground, and then the rest of it is just the strength of Jerome Bettis. You can't hold these guys down long.
2 tackles had good blocks too. Strelzik and Wolford.
Oh.
Wolford, the left guard.
Nicely blocked.
Well, the Steelers go right back to the power run, and Bettis takes it up the middle and down to the 25-yard line for Bo Orlando. He's not big. It's 5'10", 180. Gets low and knocks him down. We think the bus has just rode over that 1,000-yard mark.
Yep, the bus is in motion. This is Pittsburgh offense. Now they are able to play Pittsburgh football.
1,005 yards for the season for Jerome Bettis. Hamzat, timing throw, and look at the catch out in the flat, taken in by the fullback Tim Lester, who played collegiately at Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah,
Oakland got him.
They're playing some football now. When you start making plays like this, great blocking and super. Look at this. Look at this. And it's windy and cold, and he still reaches behind him with one hand.
Things are going your way when your blocking back starts to make one-handed catches below his knees.
Uh-oh, they're playing football.
And it's first down and 10 Steelers. Bettis up the middle. What blocking by the Steeler offensive line. Dawson is cleaning people out. And Jerome Bettis rolls on down to the 7-yard line.
Well, it's like they took the defensive line out of the game for a couple of plays. Look at the line as it moved the line of scrimmage back. Oh, that was impressive. That was impressive by the Pittsburgh offensive line.
All of a sudden, the Steelers, who are coming off what they all called their best game of the season, blowing away the Rams last week, starting to look like the same team. On first down, Bettis hit, breaking tackles, and finally he gets to the 6-yard line. 2 tough yards. James Francis takes him down, second and goal from the 7-yard line.
Well, even on that little bitty play, Ricardo McDonald was on the ground. Copeland on the ground. And look at those offensive linemen. They have basically taken over this part of the game.
Bettis' numbers climbing with that 28-yard run.
He's got 67 yards already.
On 11 carries. Second and goal. Ball spotted just inside the 7. Bettis heading in. Standing up. Jerome Bettis with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. And the defending American Conference champions from Pittsburgh take the lead for the first time with 7:37 to go in the half. 9-3 Pittsburgh with the extra point coming up.
Take a look at this side, the right side of the offensive line. That was just a wipeout. All of the dark jerseys lying on the turf. The white jerseys standing up and pushing people back.
Norm Johnson setting up for the point after try. He drives it through, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are up 10-3. Sustained drive. The NFL and NBC continues with the Steelers kickoff in a moment. Jerome Bettis just going into the end zone with his 8th rushing touchdown as a Pittsburgh Steeler, completing an 8-play 70-yard drive. The big play in it was his 28-yard run. And the Steelers with their first lead 10-3 kickoff. The ball hit deep now. They do have Jeff Hill back in the game, but the kick goes to David Dunn, who downs the ball for a touchback.
Don, let me show you the touchdown. You got Wolford pulling this way. You got Lester coming around. You get great blocks at the point of attack here. This is textbook blackboard football. Wolford with the great block on Francis, and Bettis goes in virtually unharmed.
Bengals all talking about how Dermontti Dawson, the all-pro center of the Steelers, gets to where you want to go so fast. Is absolutely lightning quick after the snap of the ball. And his blocking, the whole offensive line blocking of the Steelers, brilliant on that drive. Harrison Hurst comes back with a run, and he breaks into open field and goes out to the 28-yard line. A gain of almost 9 yards on the play. Rod Woodson cartwheels him with a shin-high tackle.
Well, the Pittsburgh defense has got to play some football now. The offense is going, And look at the run. Once again, Garrison Hurst and the offensive line clearing nice little openings. There's the defensive coordinator for Pittsburgh, Dick LeBeau. When he was a coach here at Cincinnati, he invented the zone blitz, and all of the NFL teams are copying it right now.
2nd down and 2 arises. And penalty markers are in all over the field, stopping the clock with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half.
Well, teams that are struggling do this kind of thing. And Cincinnati's had some weird penalties.
Before the snap, there is a false start on the offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
It's a veteran offensive lineman, Joe Walter.
The right tackle move.
Right there.
That's the 4th penalty against the Bengals today for a total yardage of 35. See the Steelers with 3 penalties. As Coach Coslett now very concerned about falling behind this tough Pittsburgh team because the defense only gets better when the Steelers are playing with a lead. On 2nd down, Jeff Blake gets some time, swings it out. Here's Garrison Hurst with some room to run. Look at him go. Garrison Hurst across the 40 and the 50. And Hurst is all the way down to the 36-yard line of the Steelers. Parnell Lake got him, but it was way downfield as the Bengals got a big play they needed badly, a 40-yard gain.
See, this is essentially a handoff. It's about a 4-yard pass. Not even. See Garrison Hurst, he basically just kind of turns around. Nice little screen. Now watch him take the back door, young football players. He gets the entire defense going one way. He cuts back against the grain, and it's a foot race.
And Beasley, one of the Steeler defensive linemen, looks like Bill Johnson, who's down. He's being attended to back at the 32-yard line. But he might just be winded as they're keeping him down a little bit to catch his breath with 6:20 still to be played in the first half. And the Bengals just getting their biggest offensive play of the day, the 40-yard screen pass play to Garrison Hurst.
Well, the Pittsburgh defense is known around the nation. And today, Cincinnati has done a pretty good job against them. Pittsburgh offense is waking up, but the defense is still, they're in no man's land somewhere.
Steeler defense comes in rated number 4 overall in the 30-team league. The Bengals getting big plays, though, from Garrison Hurst. There's been critics that say the Bengals don't spend a lot of money, but they have over $21 million invested just in their 2 tailbacks, Garrison Hurst and Kajana Carter. Tonight on Dateline, you don't know about your minivan and what it could cost you, a Dateline exclusive. Then they say that this pill can improve your sex life. Is this a miracle drug or medical madness? Watch Dateline Sunday later tonight on NBC.
There's something a little unnatural about that.
Hurst now up to 37 yards carrying the ball on 7 tries. He's got the 1 catch for 40 yards. Blake playing well, 10 of 18, 133, but he was intercepted once by Chad Brown. Here's Kajana Carter. And the Steelers are Eric Bieniemy runs the ball. He's knocked down hard by Joel Steed, 93. Steelers got a lot of tough guys up front. They've got some good young ones as Bieniemy now hops off. Israel Raybone is a terrific young rookie in the defensive line. Orpheus Roy's another one they think is going to be outstanding. A lot of guys, a lot of walking wounded leaving this field. It has been a battle. The clock is running, 5 minutes and 33 seconds to play. First half. Steelers in the lead by 7. Blake with a good fake and a throw up the middle to Darnay Scott, who gets inside the 30, where he's taken down by Kevin Henry.
You know, the big key to this game was Willie Anderson taking on Chad Brown. Chad Brown has made some nice plays, but look at the young rookie. At least getting a hand on Chad Brown to push him inside.
They're down now coming up. Ball positioned at the 30-yard line of the Steelers. Cincinnati needs a little over 2. Lone setback is Carter. Olszewski comes on a blitz. Blake falls down, and he's going to run him. Now he's going to throw the ball. And he's picked off. Rod Woodson intercepts. So Blake again trips either on his center's foot, gets up, has room with his running ability to buy some time, and then he throws it right to Rod Woodson, his second pick of the day, and the Bengal drive is stopped.
Now this is the second time that Jeff Blake falls over his receiver, and with Rod Woodson in great position on Darnay Scott on the over route, he should never have thrown this ball. You see him fall, and then at the end of the play, he just threw it, a ball he never should have thrown.
Now back to live action as Tomczak fires over the middle. The ball is incomplete. He gunned it at his tight end, Mark Bruner. Firing hard just before the Bengal pass rush got to him. Still, as you see, 4:35 to play in the first half. Don Criqui with Beasley, Reece at Cincinnati. The jungle, they call it, when the Bengals are cooking and the fans are here as they are today.
There's Bruce Coslet talking it over with Blake, trying to calm him down, because Blake definitely tried to do too much on that last interception.
Blake talked about patience being the key against a tremendous defense like Pittsburgh has. You can't force things. That time he tried to. Here's Bettis turning to the outside. And Jerome Bettis, with penalty markers flying in after the play, is taken out of bounds as he gets out to the 41-yard line. Again on the play of 14 yards if it goes. Bengals are signaling it's a hold against the Steelers. We'll see if the officials could. Yep, it is. So a 14-yard run by Jerome Bettis is negated, and the Steelers are set back as they lead the game 10-3.
The Steelers have gone to a different blocking style. I mean, it looked like a totally different defensive line for Cincinnati is out there on the last drive when they took it right down and scored. And there was another big run. Well, they've changed the style of play that they're running. They're going back to their angle blocks where their athletic offensive line gets in great positions, not just straight ahead blocking against these big, strong defensive linemen.
On 2nd and 20, Tomczak near side throw. What a beautifully executed play to Yancey Thigpen. He'll be well short of the first down. It will bring up 3rd down and about 9 as they got close to 11 on that pass play.
Well, Spencer's got an inside technique on the receiver, so if you've got an outside play call, that's going to be completed. In fact, when they talk about this defensively, it's not as if Spencer was beaten on the play.
No, he played well.
They beat the defense. They happened to call a play that was perfect against the defense that was being played against them.
And you see the Steelers have not converted on their previous 4 third down attempts. They need almost 10 on this one. Here's a throw and a catch. And the Bengal defense is there. The tackle is made by the middle linebacker, Steve Tovar, and the free safety, Bo Orlando. So the Steelers send out their punter. Josh Miller comes back out. And Corey Sawyer's dropping back for the Bengals with 3:20 to play in the half and the clock running.
Now, Don Sawyer is back there because Greg Myers, a really fine-looking young rookie safety, is out with a mild concussion.
Big rush, but a well-hit ball by Miller. Here is Sawyer at his 25-yard line. Straight ahead, he gets to the 29. Bengals with just 1 timeout remaining.
You see these guys, see once again, now this is a wide receiver in the backfield for Pittsburgh. That shows once again the diversity of their offense. See how he comes out of the backfield right there for the catch. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, he didn't get enough for the first down. But just, you know, Shan Gailey with a very complicated scheme. They go from the power running of Bettis to the fancy 5 receivers. Very difficult to defend.
Now the Steelers bring people up, threatening to blitz. Blake stands in, throws to the far sideline, and as a penalty marker, it will be against Williams of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It'll be first down for Cincinnati with 2:52 to go in the first half. The Steelers leading. Look at the Bills now coming from behind to take a 17-10 lead against the Eagles. Cincinnati goes to Buffalo next Sunday.
Well, if this is against Pittsburgh, Rod Woodson can't believe it.
Pass interference on the defense, number 27. Automatic. First down.
See, Rod Woodson walks away in disgust based on the call. Now, Blake does this a lot because his receivers can jump so high. Williams is all over him, grabbing him on the play, so it's definitely a good call, but the throw is something that Cincinnati does all the time.
Steelers have stopped 2 Bengal drives with interceptions. Long ball. Going for the ball is Darnay Scott. He uses the ball, but another marker down. And again, it's on the Steelers. It could be on Rod Woodson. Back judge coming in, telling Mike Carey it's clearly against Pittsburgh as Darnay Scott had the defense beaten.
Defense, number 26.
It's on Woodson.
First down.
Now, see, Don, once again, this is, as a defensive back, you don't want to be in this position. But if a guy is running away from you and it's a sure touchdown, here's the 2 guys going at it, Darnay and Rod Woodson. If you know you're beaten, sometimes it's best just to grab the guy.
That is the 6th penalty against the Steelers for 64 yards.
If Woodson does not grab him here, it's a touchdown. So at least his team can line up.
Yeah, he did the right thing.
Yeah, at least his team can line up and play some football. But Scott also has to catch that ball.
Yards come tougher now with the Steeler defense having less field to protect. There's Blake with a handoff. Garrison Hurst, nothing doing there. No place to do business against the Steeler defense led by Brunston Buckner, 96. You see the clock winding down.
Yeah, Willie Williams on a blitz at the top of your screen.
Well, Steelers got a lot of big, tough guys, and they all spend a lot of time in the weight room. Tough to move those big people. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Bengals. Olszewski threatens to blitz, backs off. Will he come? Yes, he will. Here comes Olszewski. Lob pass. Pickens comes down with the ball. Absolute brilliance by Jeff Blake. In the face of an all-out blitz, right in his face, he puts the ball right where it has to be, and it's 1st down Bengals.
Now the catch by Pickens, Olszewski comes into this gap. Kajana Carter steps up and gives Jeff Blake just enough time. See him step up? Just enough time to get the ball into a great position. And the Cincinnati Bengals are known for this throw, the high arcing pass from Blake to Pickens.
Pickens now with 7 catches for the day for 77 yards. 57 catches for the season. He had 99 last year, 17 for touchdowns. This year just 4 TD passes, TD receptions so far. Timing throw. The game is it tied? No, they're ruling he's down at the goal line. Not in. The linesman comes in. Darren Perry makes a tackle on Darnay Scott, inches from the goal line.
See, once again, the cornerbacks are so far off these receivers, respecting the speed of Scott and Pickens, that's a gimme play. I mean, Pittsburgh is clearly afraid to go bump and run against these receivers.
Kenny Anderson, the great Bengal quarterback of yesteryear, the offensive coordinator. John Garrett and Gary Moeller, the receiver coaches, all combining on some of these play calls. And here's a handoff, and Garrison Hurst is in. And the Bengals are within an extra point. Kajana Carter goes in for the touchdown, and the Bengals are an extra point away from tying the game.
Kajana Carter has become Mr. Touchdown.
He has.
And that's the new Kajana dance.
His 5th touchdown of the season, invariably from a yard or less out. He's going to give the ball to his mother, Kathy, who's down from Westerville, Ohio.
There's Mom. She's got a lot of footballs at the house. She's got 3, I believe, so far.
She got 5 this year.
Got 5.
And she has 100 from Ohio State, from Penn State. As the ball, extra point is kicked up and good, and the game is tied with 1:15 to play in the half.
Watch the lead block by Jeff Cawthron, but really, at the end of it, Kajana still has to run through Jerry Olszewski. There's the lead block, and Kajana still muscles his way into the end zone. Nice play, well designed, well run with the big back using his muscle to drive it in.
Lee Johnson ready to kick off. Eric Pegram and Ernie Mills back for the Steelers. Tomczak and the Steeler offense will have 1 minute and 15 seconds with which to work, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Flags are almost straight out, though. The Steelers are working into the wind. It's not their ally here in the second quarter. Pegram from the 3. Slowed up and down at the 17-yard line. David Dunn, number 80, who returns kickoffs, also comes down to make tackles on them. Stay with us at the half for the Domino's Pizza NFL and NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Mike Ditka, and the former Bengal great Chris Collinsworth will get you caught up with all the scores and highlights from around the NFL. All coming up at halftime. Tomczak in the shotgun. 5 wide receivers set, and they go to the run, and Eric Pegram is running in open field. And Pegram is all the way out to the 37-yard line. A gain on the play of 18 yards and a first down.
Eric Pegram with a very gutsy performance today. He's got a sore knee, and he's been limping, but still running back kicks, and a nice run there out of tiny North Texas State University.
Watch Dawson pick off a couple of guys with his blocking. What a player.
Demonte Dawson is known for this. Watch the best center in football. There's one guy. Then he gets downfield to cut off Ricardo. Rest of it is Eric Pegram.
Weather turning colder. Wind picking up.
A little snow.
Chill factors have to be down in the teens now.
I love this.
Yes, indeed. 10-10 tie. Tomczak lobs the ball downfield. It's tipped and caught and then lost by Andre Hastings. The most exciting miss of the day. 2 guys almost had it. 1 from each side.
Well, Bo Orlando's got to catch this. I mean, this is a free safety's dream. Number 26 is right there. He stepped up too much. I mean, all he had to do was stay where he was and jump. Watch him at the end. See the couple of steps up? That takes him just too close to the ball to get up high enough to intercept.
Big hit by Ashley Ambrose, 33. Kept Hastings from catching the ball. 51 seconds left. Steelers have 1 timeout remaining. Tomczak on 2nd and 10. A timing throw to Hastings, and he's down to the 47. He'll be short of the first down by a couple of yards.
Boy, these timing throws in the NFL today, as we go with the no-huddle offense, does Pittsburgh. The timing plays is what really works today.
Tomczak again, a timing throw, another connection. First down Steelers down to the 43-yard line. As Charles Johnson, good to see him back in and catching the ball after he injured a knee and was taken to the locker room earlier.
For Cincinnati in a kind of a prevent defense. It's a soft zone. See people dropping back and breaking on the direction of the throw. And then at the end, you see Orlando and people try to yank the ball out. There he is.
The Bengals are the AFC leader in interceptions starting this day with 20. They've had no picks today. As you see, the Packers started the day as the leader overall.
And see, that's the shocking thing, Don, for Cincinnati to have the most interceptions, to protect the ball very well, and to be plus 14 in the takeaway giveaway. Normally, historically, you have a winning record when you play that type of defense.
That's it. The plus margin in turnovers is the key. And the Bengals and the Packers were the NFL leaders at the outset of the day with 14 each. The Steeler interception count is now up to 18 for the season with 2 picks of Jeff Blake today. Steelers have now used their last timeout. All positioned at the 43-yard line of the Bengals. Game tied 10-10. Tomczak stands in, lets it go long. He's got a man there, and Thigpen, and he makes the catch. Yancey Thigpen is down to the 5-yard line with 16 seconds to play.
Well,
39-yard gain.
Don, 16 seconds left to play, and there's no way you couldn't drive a race car and get behind me. You couldn't get on a motorcycle and get past me on this play. Spencer is looking back. See, that's the killer. Looking back at the quarterback, so he didn't see that it was an out and goal.
Did someone say Jerome Bettis? No timeouts. They've got to pump it up. Here's Tomczak on the run, heading for the end zone, and he dives down to the goal line, and they say he's not in. But he did get out of bounds with 7 seconds left, and there's also a penalty marker down, 2 of them in the end zone, which might indicate interference on the Bengals. It is a signal against Cincinnati. Bengal defense burned for a 40-yard gain. Seven seconds left. No timeouts for the Steelers. The game tied 10-10. The officials now sorting it out. Here's referee Mike Carey.
12 men on the field on the defense. It's declined. Second down.
Okay. I understand that move. You get down in that area, Don, and you go the old 12-man trick.
Yeah. Sometimes it works.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
And the Bengals now use their last timeout to be sure their defense is set.
Or Don, that 12th man needs to be in some real trouble, because when you send a 12th man out there and they still run the ball to the 1-inch line, there's something wrong. 12 men, you ought to at least make the play.
Yeah. The Steelers now, Beasley, electing not to go with the sure shot field goal that would give them the lead. They'd rather try to punch it in from less than a yard out.
All right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And still, Pittsburgh takes it to the one breath line.
Yeah, they're inches away. So the Steelers are going to try to pound it in as the nose of the ball is almost at the Bengal goal line.
Well, you give me Jerome Bettis
Right
and
up the
Tim
middle.
Lester, and I make the same decision every day of the week. Not to mention one of the best offensive lines in the National Football League, and I pounded in there.
So after the Bengals score the tying touchdown, the Steelers respond. The big play, the long throw near sideline. Tomczak to Yancey Thigpen, who's back in good health.
I want to know who that 12th man is.
Power set. Jerome Bettis is the deep back. Flash Stewart dives over the top and takes it in. And the Steelers with 5, and there's penalty markers down. There's a linesman's penalty down.
Offsides on the defense. It's declined. The score is good.
So Stewart gets the touchdown, and the Steelers take the lead.
Well, the killer was that pass play.
Was it?
There's no, I don't know what type of mode of transportation you could be using to get behind me in that situation.
The old keep him in front of you rule.
Oh, it's crazy.
Terrific pattern by Thigpen, though, and then Tomczak putting the ball right where it had to be. And the extra point hit up and good again by Norm Johnson, and the Pittsburgh Steelers build their lead to 7 once again, leading 17-10.
Well, he goes over, he makes a good choice. He goes right over Damani Dawson. Look at Damani putting his shoulder in, and Damani goes straight into Tim Lester with the shoulder. That's just old-fashioned power football, and Slash Cardell with the springs, with the jumping ability, with the ups, as the young boys call it. There's Damani Dawson. He's the best.
A nice guy off the field. Some of his teammates call him Ned Flanders, like the nice guy neighbor of Homer Simpson. Such a nice guy off the field. That was Slash Stewart's 5th touchdown of the season, his 3rd rush. He's also had 2 receiving. Bengals again for a third straight week looking to rally in the second half to come from behind. You remember they won their first 2 games since Kozlik took over with second half rallies to beat Jacksonville, and then last week at Baltimore, coming back from the biggest deficit on the road in Bengal history, down by 18 points in the third quarter. They rallied to win. Johnson line drives the kick, hits it hard. It's taken by David Dunn. This is the final play of the half. David Dunn's in open field. Johnson has a good angle on it, and now one man to beat. Can they get him? They can't. David Dunn returns the kickoff for a touchdown. There are no markers. What a game.
Starts with the kick. They tried to squiv it, but the ball never got more than 10 feet in the air. And Dunn, with the play of the day, outruns everybody. 90 yards later, what a play.
Number 40, Myron Bell, did his best, but he couldn't catch up. Now the point after try by Pelfrey is up and good. And at the half, on a dramatic 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown, the Bengals have again tied the game. The NFL and NBC continues as we go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back to our studios in New York. Along with Mike Ditka, Chris Collinsworth, I'm Greg Gumbel. We've got oodles of scores and highlights. We'll begin with the game in Philadelphia, where the Bills are leading the Eagles by a score of 17-10. Ty Detmer led the Eagles to a touchdown on their opening drive. The Bills answered with a big play on special teams. The punt blocked by rookie Gabe Northern. He picks it up and goes 18 yards for the first touchdown of his NFL career, ties the game at 7. It was 10-7 in the second. Thurman Thomas caps a 16-play drive with a 5-yard run for the touchdown, his 7th of the season. And a Christie field goal from 38 yards out makes it a 17-10 lead. The Bills over the Eagles. This is a good football game, Mike.
It is a good football game, and it's going to change in the second half. Philadelphia is going to come out and run the ball. They know they have to run the ball, and they are running. They're moving it down the field right now, but they got Charlie Garner in the game instead of Ricky Waters, so I don't know why that is. And Detmer is getting killed. And I tell you, the guy who's killed is Phil Hansen. Phil Hansen's not very much heard of, but I tell you, he is making plays all over that field for Buffalo today.
All right, Mike. In Kansas City, the Chiefs and the Packers 20-6. Kansas City is leading Green Bay. Greg Hill, a big day for the Chiefs. The Packers have lost their tight end, Shimura. Kansas City's always a tough place to play.
It sure is. And Greg Hill is finally playing the way that the Chiefs had always hoped that he would. 4 touchdowns now in the past 2 ball games. But here's an interesting stat for you. Steve Bono, 166 yards the first half passing, Brett Favre 88. Who would have called that one?
All right, in Miami, the Dolphins hosting Indianapolis, leading this one by a score of 23-6. Jimmy Johnson trying to fire up his team in the throes of a 3-game losing streak. 3-0 Indy first quarter. Dan Marino went over 50,000 career yards passing, hits O.J. McDuffie, 12-yard touchdown, 7-3 Dolphins. Second quarter, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with a 1-yard run caps a 62-yard drive, 14-3 Miami. And Marino also went over the 4,000 career completion mark, a 15-yarder. To Fred Barnett, his first touchdown for Miami, 23-6. Miami in the lead now over the Indianapolis Colts. In the Meadowlands, the New York Jets hosting the Patriots, 21-14. Jets, Bill Parcells. Well, this was a smile before the game. They're looking for their 5th straight win. It was a tough start for Drew Bledsoe. Intercepted on New England's first 2 possessions. And then on the third, Bledsoe hit, fumbled, recovered by Hugh Douglas, led to a 1-yard touchdown by Morrell. Morrell, his second touchdown from a yard out. Jets take a 21-0 lead. But with under 2 minutes to play in the first half, Patriots get on the board. 26 yards out, Bledsoe to wide open Terry Glenn. Patriots trailed 21-7 at halftime. And then early in the second half, Curtis Martin from 1 yard out now 21-14. And the New York Jets started strong. Patriots starting to come back now. It's a 1-touchdown difference at the Meadowlands. In Cincinnati, the game that you are watching, the Bengals have just tied the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-17, 2 touchdowns within a minute of each other, within a couple of seconds of each other to end the first half. And this is David Dunn.
You know, you just can't say enough about the job that Bruce Coslett has done with this team, making them a mentally tougher football team. He just has these guys playing like men right now, but unless they can stop Jerome Bettis here in the second half, it's not going to matter.
Each of these teams on a 2-game winning streak. The Steelers 7-2 on the year. They're tied at 17 at halftime. In Washington, the Redskins hosting the Cardinals. They're tied at 13. In New Orleans, the Saints hosting the Houston Oilers 21-6. Houston in the lead over the Saints. There's Chris Chandler back at quarterback for the Oilers after missing last week with a groin injury. Fumbles the snap here, makes the quick pickup, finds Chris Sanders over the middle, and Sanders turns it into a 42-yard touchdown on Houston's first possession, 7-0 Oilers. The Saints fumble the ensuing kickoff, and then Chandler to wide open Ronnie Harmon, 11 yards and a touchdown, 14-0. And then Chandler with his third TD pass of the first half. Eric Norgard, a tackle eligible, 1 yard and a touchdown. They led 21-3 at halftime. 21-6, the Oilers in the lead. In Tampa, the Bucks hosting the Oakland Raiders. They are tied at 10. Raiders haven't played in Tampa since '84. That's when they beat Washington in Super Bowl 18. And the Bucks got on the board first. Trent Dilfer to Eric Rett. Rett will turn this into a 5-yard touchdown. His first TD of the season, caps a 13-play opening drive, 7-0 Tampa Bay. Raiders answered back, halfback option. Harvey Williams, 18 yards to James Jett. His second touchdown pass of his career. Harvey Williams completes it. 10-10 is the score. And in St. Louis, the Rams jumped off to a big lead, and they continue to add to it. They lead the Atlanta Falcons 31-7 at halftime. Up next, we'll talk about the playoff races in both conferences. First, a word from the NFL and these messages from your local station.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's talk a bit about the playoff picture and some of the big games over the next few weeks. In the AFC right now, these 5 teams lead the pack. Denver at 8-1, Pittsburgh 7-2, Buffalo, New England, Kansas City are all 6-3. 6 other teams are within a game of each other for what would be the final playoff spot. Houston, Indianapolis, San Diego, Miami, Oakland, and Seattle. And out of that group, Chris Collinsworth likes Oakland, but.
Why? But I still think the Raiders are a playoff football team this year because of the way they play defense, and they can run the football if they just will. The second best running team in the National Football League, averaging almost 5 yards per carry, and yet last week against Denver on first down, they throw the ball 18 out of 24 times. Do what you do best, run the football, and this is a playoff team.
Why don't they, Mike?
Too many mouths to feed. You got Kaufman, you got Williams, you got Ashley. They don't even know who they want to play running back. Then you got to please Hostetler, you got Brown, you got Jett, you got Dudley. They ain't got enough footballs for this football team, believe me.
All right, Mike. Very interesting game next week. Much of the country will see it as the first half of our doubleheader. Denver at New England. Shootout?
Well, you would think so.
Absolutely.
You know, but the one thing about the New England Patriots, they don't have the complete team that the Denver Broncos do. They're not running the football effectively right now. And I talked to Bill Parcells a couple of weeks ago. I said, if you don't make the playoffs, why will it be? He said defense.
Mike?
Well, I don't think it'll be a shootout. I think both teams will run the football. We know right now Denver's leading the league in rushing the football. Bill Parcells would like nothing more than to get into a ground game with them. And if he can keep it on the ground, they got a good chance to win it.
Okay, another game on the horizon that looks very interesting right now. It's the second Sunday in December. Denver at Green Bay. Each is 8-1. Depending on who's at home in this game, you would figure would have the advantage. In this case, it's Green Bay at Lambeau Field.
Could be Super Bowl. A lot of people think this may ultimately be the game, and it's not a case with the Denver Broncos where you say, oh, no, not the Broncos again. We don't want them in the Super Bowl. This is a team now very complete. They run the football. The Green Bay Packers, the best in the National Football League at stopping the run. That's where that game will be decided.
And Green Bay had better get some receivers back.
Well, if they don't get the receivers back, what they're going to do, they're going to go to the 2 tight end sets. Those 2 tight ends are pretty solid football players. But the big problem with Green Bay, I don't worry about their receivers as much as I do their offensive line. That's the key.
All right, Mike, the NFC picture looks like this. Green Bay leads the way, followed by San Francisco, Washington, Philadelphia, and Dallas. And I guess the big question is, which Dallas Cowboys team are we going to be seeing the rest of the way?
Well, you know, Chris said it earlier. I mean, you're going to see a team that could fall out of the playoffs or could win the Super Bowl. There's a lot of talent on this football team, and I believe there's a lot of pride. Right now, I think this football team has to be led a little better, and I'm not knocking Barry in this sense, but I'm saying these people have to realize that every week they go out there, they're the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's taking a shot at them. They're going to give their best against the Cowboys. They better get it together.
But, Mike, do you agree that this team on any given Sunday is still the best football team in the game today?
You got an all-pro basically at every position on offense. You have to be one of the best football teams in the league.
That's right.
All right, guys, our NFL on NBC halftime activities continue.
The fiery special teams coach of the Steelers, Ron Zook.
Well, he's probably fired up right now after his unit gave up a kickoff return. I mean, unbelievable way to end a half. What a play.
90-yard kickoff return by David Dunn to tie the game, and now the Bengals will get the ball again to start the 3rd quarter of play. 17-17 game. There's Dunn back again. He caught his breath at halftime. Ready for more. A 5th-round draft choice out of Fresno State. Very fast and very big at 6'3", 220 pounds. High kick. They spin it down, and coming with the ball is Jeff Hill. Cutting back. He is still on his feet. Gets one block. Holt runs the sidelines and gets out to the 40-yard line. Let's see if they mark him out of bounds farther back.
Now, see, this is, I mean, it's unbelievable that he gets out of this trouble right here. Oh, that was almost a clip. Stays in bounds and steps out right there.
Ron Zook got a black eye somehow in the Houston game in one of those emotional huddles with his special teams guys. Somebody bumped him with his face mask, they think. Nobody hit him, but he came into the locker room with a black eye when it was over. Here is Blake rolling out. Yep, Blake's going to call his own number, and he gets out of bounds before Jason Gilden, number 92, can put a lick on him. Don Criqui with Beasley Reece here at Cincinnati. That touchdown return just before halftime by David Dunn was the first kick return for a touchdown by the Bengals since the Super Bowl in January of '89 when Stanford Jennings ran one back against the 49ers.
Jennings did it twice that year, and so an unlikely play makes this a tied ball game and a smoker.
Bengals with good field position. They go to the run. Garrison Hurst is quickly shut down by Jason Gilden. Number 92 makes the stop.
Looking at the numbers, you see the 2 turnovers by Cincinnati, and then there's the big number when they changed offensive styles and went to Bettis, and he got control of that game to put Pittsburgh what looked like it would be a real momentum. So, you know, there's a look at your Coors Light halftime stats. Some interesting numbers.
Had some interesting big plays in this game. As on 3rd down and 5, Jeff Blake goes with a long count. Takes a quick 3-step drop, fires hard, and the ball is intercepted by Rod Woodson, his 2nd of the day. And Woodson is all the way back to the 20-yard line. The ball caroms off the receiver, and Rod Woodson has his 2nd interception of the day, his 5th of the season.
Rod Woodson is simply a playmaker. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This ball is right there. Dion Figures with a nice play on the receiver with the left hand in there. And then Woodson, I mean, what type of hand-eye coordination do you have to snatch something moving that fast in the air and catches it on the run? He is the best.
And the Steelers look to break the tie again as their first possession of the second half starts at the Bengal 20. End off. Bettis protecting the ball. Taking on tacklers, and he gets down close to the 19-yard line. A hard-earned 2 yards. James Francis and Steve Tovar, a couple of Bengal backers, were on the stop.
Well, Copeland, the defensive lineman, number 92, did his job. He stuffed that play deep in the backfield. But Bettis, you cannot arm tackle Jerome Bettis. 74 yards rushing today. When he gains 100, Pittsburgh wins.
Their 7 wins, all coming in games where Bettis has gone over 100 yards rushing. Their 2 losses in games where he's not gotten 100. Tomczak in trouble, gets the ball, and it was almost caught by Jerome Bettis. Came into the game with 16 receptions. John Copeland was putting the pressure on the quarterback.
Here's Bettis, watch 36, just slip through, find the little spot. But Francis is right there. Francis gets blocked, though. If he'd have caught that, there's the money. How does a center get all the way out there to protect his guy? If Bettis had caught that, he might still be rumbling.
Big down now. The Steelers send 3 wide receivers to the left. Now they bring Hastings in motion, number 88. Handoff. And Pegram is shut down by Wilkinson. So after the mistake and the interception, the Bengal defense holds.
See, Big Daddy, once again, I mean, you get this type of penetration, and there's no way in the world. Just, Big Daddy says, bring your little bit of self over here. To Eric Pegram from my alma mater.
And here's Norm Johnson to try the field goal to break the tie. The hold will be at the 33-yard line. Closer to the 32. Tomczak with a good hold. The kick is wide right, and the Bengals dodge a bullet, and the Steelers miss a big opportunity to take the lead. Cincinnati gets the ball in this tie game when we come back.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By Liberty Mutual Insurance, helping people live safer, more secure lives. That's the freedom of liberty. By Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. And by Jeep, makers of the new award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Back to Cincinnati. The Bengals, after the field goal missed by Norm Johnson, take over the ball just outside their 30. Here's a quick out. Pickens has it, and a good defensive play as the tackle is made very quickly by Willie Williams.
The Steelers have been making plays, but they are not taking advantage of it. First interception, a field goal. Second interception, they had to punt. Third interception, they missed the field goal. So these are opportunities clearly lost by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And the game remains tied. The Steelers won here a year ago in a wild game. Pittsburgh way down in that game and came back to rout the Bengals 49-31 after trailing by 16. Chad Brown makes the tackle, and that brings up 3rd down, and the ball will be spotted on a loss of 2 yards at the 35-yard line. Garrison Hurst, the runner, and a new package of offensive players comes in. And now another Steeler is down being attended to. It looked like it might be Levon Kirkland, who's having a tremendous year at inside linebacker with 4 interceptions and 4 sacks already. The NFL on NBC will continue with this game tied at 17-all.
This is the NFL on NBC.
Here's Levon Kirkland trying desperately to make a play. Watch Rod Woodson come into the back of his body. And we just saw Levon Kirkland grimacing in pain on the sideline. Hopefully he's okay, but that's how he got hurt.
It brings up 3rd down for the Bengals. They need 7. Blake steps in, fires hard, and puts too much pop on it. David Dunn, the intended receiver, and Rod Woodson was on him like a coat of paint. Had no chance to catch the ball, and that brings out the punter, Lee Johnson, for Cincinnati.
Lee Johnson.
Well, dropping back is Hastings. Excuse me, Beasley.
Lee Johnson has got to redeem himself from a really weird kick. He's about as good as it gets. at his job. He's one of the best punters in the league, coming in here with almost 47 yards a kick, but one very bad play early in the first half.
Johnson hits a high punt downfield that Andre Hastings takes at his 14, eludes the first wave, gets a channel, and Hastings is out to the 27-yard line. And with 10:29 to play in the third quarter, Pittsburgh gets the possession of the ball, tied in the game 17-17. Bracy Walker was down to make the play. Jeff Blake with 170 yards passing. Now his touchdown total for the season is equal to his interception total. He has 10 of each. Last season he had 28 touchdown passes and started for the AFC in the last Pro Bowl.
Cincinnati this season only 13 giveaways, so
till today.
Pretty good.
Up to 16 now. Play fake. Tom Zach near side. Catch made by Hastings, and a hit immediately put on after a gain of about 3 yards by cornerback Ashley Ambrose. They stayed away from him, Beasley, because of those 6 interceptions.
Oh, he's on a Pro Bowl season pace. I mean, he's been in super position every play. He's a fine young cornerback.
Former Indianapolis Colt.
There he is, leading the National Football League, tied with Terrell Buckley of Miami with 6.
The Steelers on second down go to Jerome Bettis, turns it outside, and Bettis gets ahead for 3 more yards. Taken down by Ricardo McDonald, the outside linebacker, 56 for the Bengals.
I'll tell you, when you're taking on Bettis, look at Tim Lester with the pickup block on a blitzing safety. Spencer with a feint in front of Bettis, and I can't blame him. That's a lot of football player to be hitting when you're a little bitty defensive back.
And on 3rd and 4, the Steelers go with a 5 wide receiver formation. But before they can implement it and snap the ball, the Bengals call a timeout. So they use a timeout early in this third quarter. Jimmy Spencer, starting cornerback for the Bengals, shaken up a bit earlier, looks to be okay. As third down arises, the Steelers have converted only 1 of 7 previous third downs. Here's a blitz. Tom Zach stands in, lets it go long. Stewart is out there and makes the catch, then loses the ball. It's a fumble and a recovery, and the Bengals' Bo Orlando comes up with the ball. So another wild play in this crazy game. And now let's see what the officials ruled. It looked like he had possession and took a couple of steps. Will they call it an incomplete pass?
Well, it looks like the official is saying that Stewart was...
That he did have possession slash Stewart, and that he fumbled. So we'll see. A 37-yard pass was the initial completion, if indeed it was ruled a completion.
This is a crazy football game.
There was a legal reception, and the player was down by contact. First down.
Oh! A blatant official error. In a tight game like this, those hurt.
All right, here we go.
Down by contact.
Reception.
Ball was stripped out.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Wow.
Let your eyes be the judge.
So the Steelers keep the ball, and the drive stays on. They get a 37-yard gain, and the fumble is negated, and these Cincinnati fans almost ready to come out onto the field as Jerome Bettis runs it straight ahead. And we'll watch this again and again. The officials get one quick look at it here. Slash Stewart.
Well, there's an old rule that says the ground cannot cause a fumble, but that's clearly pulled out.
Yeah, he cleared. They missed one, and a very big one in this tight game, as tight as they get. It's tied up at 17 all.
That was Rod Jones, number 25, with the pull right at the end of that play.
Second down and short. Bettis way back, gets the handoff, cuts back. And Jerome Bettis with an extraordinary power. The former Notre Dame All-American at 5'11", 248 pounds, just pounds the ball straight ahead.
Well, one way to travel is he has 92 yards is to take the bus. Pittsburgh is taking the bus right now.
The bus, the nickname they've given to Big Jerome Bettis. Jets continue to lead the Patriots 24-17 in the fourth quarter. Chiefs in command of the Packers 27-6. And the Steelers looking to take the lead in this game. Hamza throws. He's got Charles Johnson, and he's inside and hit hard at the 5-yard line. Tovar and Bracey Walker both blast him, but Charles Johnson, a tough guy, somehow holds on.
I don't know how he holds on to this. This is a dangerous, dangerous hit. Linebacker low, defensive back high. Oh, man.
Bracey Walker was the one who leveled that knockout hit that somehow Charles Johnson bounced up from. First and goal Steelers in a tie game. Bettis down to the 2-yard line. Second down and goal from there. Left guard Will Wolford on the pull.
He'll come around and lead the way. That's just a well-designed play. But Jerome Bettis, you can't tackle him up around the shoulders. You can't grab him around the waist. As long as they do that, he'll continue to take 2 or 3 more steps after the initial contact.
Cordell Stewart again comes in. You'll recall his dive over the top for a touchdown earlier in this game in the first half. He hands off, and Bettis goes in. His 9th touchdown of the season, his 2nd of the day. And the Steelers beneficiaries of a very questionable call on that long 37-yard pass play when the official ruled that he was down by contact, and the replay seemed to indicate he fumbled. They had the ball stripped from him. But the drive stays alive, and now the Steelers take the lead. Bettis giving the ball to his blocking back, Big Tim Lester, to spike. And Norm Johnson tries the point after for the Steelers. The extra point is up and good, and with 6 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the third quarter, Pittsburgh again has the lead, 24-17. The Steelers kick off when the NFL on NBC continues. Norm Johnson ready to kick off as Jerome Bettis in the end zone for the second time today again breaks the tie and gives Pittsburgh a 7-point lead. David Dunn, you'll recall his 90-yard return for a touchdown. It's a reverse to Jeff Hill, one of the fastest Bengals. He turns the corner and gets all the way out to the 49-yard line. So the Bengals dig into their bag of tricks. Bruce Coslet, Beasley talking the last couple of weeks about how badly they need big plays in their special teams. They finally got one today to close out the first half. And get another one here that sets up good field position.
Now, John will get a lot of respect because of the kickoff return at the end of the half. And then there's the handoff to Hill, and it is set up perfectly. And he runs. See how he sets up his blockers? That's what he's doing as he weaves in and out before he declares that he's going to run to the outside. Nice play.
Jeff Hill, a second-year receiver from Purdue. On first down, Blake drops to throw, swings it out nicely, and Garrison Hurst took his eye off the ball before the hit came. Let's go back to Greg in New York for an update on the Patriots and Jets.
Don, at one point in this game, the Jets led 21-0, but forget all that. Drew Bledsoe of the Patriots, 17 yards to Ben Coates with the extra point. It's a brand new ball game. Patriots and Jets are tied at 24 early in the fourth quarter, Don.
Long way to go there and much longer to go in this one. We still have 5:57 to play in the third quarter. The Steelers are in the lead by 7. Blake fires up the middle, and Darnay Scott is wide open, and he fights his way to the 35-yard line. A gain of 16 yards on the play and a first down for the Bengals. Darnay Scott with his 36th catch.
Blake had receivers open at both levels. He had the short receiver open right there in Bieniemy. He takes the deeper choice, of course, to Darnay Scott. That's a nice play. Everything was open.
How about Buffalo beating the Eagles 24-10 at Philadelphia? Blake hands off, running hard with the ball is Hurst, but not for very much as Chad Brown gets him down. Garrison Hurst came into the game with over almost 420 yards rushing. A 5'11", 205-pound runner out of the University of Georgia. Never liked it in Arizona when he played for the Cardinals. From the opening day he was there, his coach at the time, Buddy Ryan, berated him as an underachiever. He rose up last year and had a 1,000-yard season for the Cardinals. But came here as a free agent and wants to stay in Cincinnati. On second down, quick drop again, the high ball thrown, and good defensive coverage as Willie Williams at 5'9" positions himself in front of Carl Pickens.
Carl Pickens turning himself into the defender.
Willie fell hard to the turf. He was really came down flat on his back.
Watch out, Pickens at the end of this play, knowing that he can't catch it, just goes up to make sure that Willie can't catch it. So Willie bounces off of that hard turf.
And Willie's still down. This hard AstroTurf field in Cincinnati, much harder in the day, where the chill factor has been taken down by the wind down into the low teens or below that. As we see Willie Williams, who's been victimized a number of times by the much taller Carl Pickens, get perfect position to break this one up.
Yeah, that's tough when you're up in the air like that, out of control to begin with. And then Pickens swipes his arms to make sure that he can't make an interception.
The intensity of this game has really been underlined by the number of players who've gone off injured. I mean, we've had just an inordinate number of players shaken up in the game. The Steelers, who come in at 7-2 with a 2-game lead over Houston in the AFC Central. Houston winning at New Orleans today. The Steelers will head to home to play Jacksonville next week, a team that has beaten them in Florida the last 2 seasons. Next Sunday, NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action at the special time of 12 noon Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC. Most of you will see the Bengals battle Bruce Smith and the Buffalo Bills, who are winning at Philadelphia right now. Others will see the Steelers square off against the Jaguars. Then in the second half of our doubleheader, most of you will see the great Jerry Rice and the 49ers host the Baltimore Ravens. Others will see Dan Marino and the Dolphins battle the Oilers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. That's the NFL on NBC next Sunday starting at 12 noon Eastern Time. 3rd down and 8. Pittsburgh. To the run they go, and here is Eric the enemy breaking into open field, and he's in for what could be the time touchdown if they hit the extra point. A 33-yard run on a passing down. Willie Anderson, the #1 draft choice, just blew open the Steeler defense. Watch this block.
Well, they also caught the Steelers in the right blitz. Everybody crashed inside. Willie Anderson pulls. All of these guys will go inside. Willie Anderson comes around and really delivers what was a beautiful, beautiful block, springing for the touchdown.
The extra point attempt coming up. Pelfrey in to tie the game. A bad snap. It was low, but Johnson makes the good hold and is quickly congratulated by Pelfrey. And it's a 24-24 game as the NFL on NBC continues.
This is the perfect offensive play. A quick pitch against the defense that's rushing inside. Willie is going to pull to the outside and make a devastating block on number 29, Randy Fuller. It's the perfect offensive play. Guesswork, actually. Pittsburgh was in the very run-stuffing blitz that would allow that play to go for 6.
Now the kickoff comes down to Eric Pegram, who then won back 91 yards last week, and he puts his head down and fights out to the 30-yard line, where the Steelers go on offense in a game tied yet again at 24 all now.
There's the enemy's celebration at the end of what was a nice run. Nicely blocked by number 71 right there, Willie Anderson, the rookie.
A lot of football left. The enemy, your worst enemy, was for the Steelers there. As you point out, Beasley, got the Steelers coming in a pass blitz, and they went to the run. That's the longest run given up by the Steeler defense. Tomczak fires to an open man, and the ball is separated from Andre Hastings by Ashley Ambrose. Beautiful throw by Tomczak.
They better leave Ashley Ambrose alone. Just leave him alone. Oh, man. Nice throw, nice pattern, but look at the defensive close and the right hand through the arms to break up the play. Ashley Ambrose is going to the Pro Bowl.
6 interceptions. He's got a great jump on it. Tied for the interception lead at the start of the day with Terrell Buckley of the Dolphins. The Bengal fans up and making it tough on Tomczak and the Steeler offense. Handoff. Here's Bettis. And a penalty marker comes down. There could be a face mask or maybe a hold. Bettis is signaling somebody got his face mask.
Big Daddy is signaling that he was held.
It's against the Bengals, at least in the opinion of Mike Tomczak. Face mask it is. Could have been James Francis 50 who got his face mask.
Well, you got to hit Bettis low. I don't know how many times. See, he tries to hit him high, grab the face mask, and let it go quickly, but the officials right there to see it. You have to tackle Bettis in his legs, period.
Preferably down around the ankles.
Face mask on the defense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, first down. Excuse me, it's still second down. The measurement brings up second down. Please set 4.
It's ruled an inadvertent face mask, only 5 yards, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, he let the face mask go. As soon as he felt the iron on the face mask, he let it go, did Francis. So only 5 yards.
And not a first down. It brings up second down and 5. Bengal defenders signaling to the crowd to kick in the noise, get the decibel level up. As Tomczak coolly sets his team, double tight ends. Jerome Bettis working hard and close to the 39-yard line. Needed to get to the 40 for the first down. And we'll see where the spot is. Could have it as the game clock continues to tick down to 3:38 to play. Jerome Bettis over 100 yards, and in the previous 7 games that he's gained over 100 for the Steelers, they've won them all. This one's tied at the moment, 24-24. Bengals led early, 3-0. Steelers tied at 3-all. Then the Steelers led 10-3. Then it was tied. Steelers led 17-10. Bengals tied it. Steelers led 24-17. Bengals tied it.
There he is. He gained only 57, they lost. He gained only 65, and they lost. But every time Jerome Bettis has been over 100 this year, Pittsburgh has won the football game. And he's over 100 today, so we'll see if that trend plays itself out. But boy, these Bengals have been responsive.
They surely have. 48 points scored in this game already, with perhaps many more to come. Tomczak on first down, timing throw, and Charles Johnson can't get to the ball as the cornerback defending Ambrose fell down.
And that would have been a big play because Ashley slipped in his recovery technique. Here's Ashley Ambrose when he comes back to defend the route in his recovery technique. Watch him slip. Right there. So if that had been a catch, there's no telling what might have happened.
Bettis on 2nd and 10 turns the corner, and Jerome Bettis could be a first down as he is out close to midfield. We'll see, they spot him out of bounds just short of a first down. Orlando got him, but he got over 9 yards on the carry. He's a foot short of a first down.
And watch, you have to get blocking from everywhere. Watch the wide receiver, Andre Hastings, working on Jimmy Spencer. Nice position. Pushing, maintains his position, and controls his man.
Cordell Stewart now in at quarterback. On 3rd and less than a yard. Stewart puts his head down, keeps those legs driving, and he gets the first down for the Steelers as he crosses midfield. A lot of speculation about the Steelers building a huge advantage in the division as scheduling seems to be in their favor. They came into this game at Cincinnati favored. They will be favored against Jacksonville at home next week. Then they go to Miami, which will be tough. Then they come home to play Baltimore. They go to Baltimore and then have San Diego and San Francisco in back-to-back home games in December. Every play could be enormous in this tied-up game, 24-24. Tomczak on first down, throws and makes the connection. Look at that knockout hit put on Andre Hastings.
Oh, there has been some
James
hitting
Francis
in this game. Watch Francis
coming back, holding.
Linebacker position.
All that Beasley for nothing.
Oh, oh, I'm hurt up here. Oh, man. He looks mean.
Oh, he's a big, rangy guy. At 6'6", 260 pounds.
Hands to the face on the offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So Andre Hastings making a tremendous play for the Steelers, catching that, taking the lick and holding on. But it's all a false alarm. It comes back on the holding penalty.
Yeah, they got Tom Myslinski. The hand to the face.
The right guard, and that sets the ball back to the Steelers' 41-yard line. First down and 20 for Pittsburgh. Tomczak gets time, lets it go long. He's got Hastings. It's picked off. Ashley Ambrose with number 7, and Beasley, your man going to the Pro Bowl.
He's going to the Pro Bowl, period. Everybody had a chance at that football. Number 27, the strong safety, Bracy Walker, had a chance for it. Here we go. Now, this is cover 2. Walker's got deep half, and here's Ashley Ambrose. He will engage the receiver, drop into a zone. He sees the ball coming, so he continues to run. But you see that 27, Walker, everybody had that ball. See, Tomczak waited so long to throw it that there's no way he had the arm strength to get it down there. Everybody had the interception. The competition for that ball was between Ambrose and Walker.
Tomczak's first interception of the day. Here comes Garrison Hurst. And a terrific open field tackle in spaces, they say, by Deion Figures. And there's little or no gain. Maybe they'll give him a yard where the ball is spotted.
Deion Figures is a big defensive back, former #1 draft choice, 6', 200-pounder. So he comes up against the smaller man and makes a solid tackle against Garrison Hurst.
Well, they spot the ball. They're giving him a gain of 2 yards. Second down and 8. Into the final minute of the third quarter. Blake, good fake, gets some time. Carl Pickens is going after the ball. And Pickens sees the defender coming over. Deion Figures was with him, and also coming over was Darren Perry, number 39, the Steelers' free safety.
Don, this is a blitz. Cincinnati's offense is decimated, but look at the blocking. Everybody picks up. Garrison Hurst picks up. That is a pocket. And then at the end of this, they're playing a cover 2 because they're afraid to cover these wide receivers one-on-one. So Figures is there, and the safety, Perry, has the deep half of the field to take the long throws.
The enemy, you remember, on a 3rd and long on the previous possession, ran for the touchdown. Here's a blitz. They give it to Bieniemy. And Eric Bieniemy is ahead for a Cincinnati first down. Unbelievable. He needed 7 and he got 9.
Well, once again, Cincinnati benefits from having the right play called against the wrong defense from a Pittsburgh perspective.
Darnay Scott kind of whiffed on the block here. Block attempt, 86.
Okay. All right. He gets a for effort.
And that will do it for 3 very exciting quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Jeff Blake and the Bengals as we start the fourth quarter. Break the huddle with first down on the Eric Bieniemy run on 3rd and long. First and 10 at their 39-yard line. 24 all. Look out, Pickens. And a terrific tackle by Deon Figures, who's been making plays all game long. Figures really getting back into peak form, Beasley, after that accidental shooting accident. He took a bullet in the knee out in Los Angeles a couple years ago.
Yeah, actually the bullet was in the derriere. And that, you know, in that muscle, it takes a long time for you to get your running and cutting and balance back. You were being nice, man.
Fortunately, he's back, and he's been making some plays for the Steelers. Blake takes a look, swings it off nicely, and gets it over the middle. And Jeff Cothran, his fullback, makes a terrific play. Cothran, who dropped a couple last week at Baltimore, makes sure he has it, then he protects it, and he gets a first down for the Bengals.
Well, one of the keys to this game was Willie Anderson versus Chad Brown, number 71. He's a rookie. Gets a little chip block from Carmen, a little help.
Willie's very strong.
Willie just gets a hand on you, you're in trouble.
Chad Brown's 240, and Willie's got him by over 100. Only one sack of Jeff Blake today. Swings it out, gets his man. Harrison Hurst running, and a lot of Steelers come and get him for a loss of 3 yards. Led by Jerry Olszewski, number 55, who's having a terrific year for the Steelers.
I tell you, the ultimate respect is being shown by the Steeler defensive calls, their coordinator, Dick LeBeau. Anderson and Brown going at it. Uh-oh, little pancake block, and then Anderson with the right hand on the face, and then Chad Brown grabs a face mask, and it's going to get real interesting, that little battle today.
All those good things. Second down and 13. They go to the draw. Here's Garrison Hurst turning it outside and finding his way inside the Steeler 45-yard line, where the seemingly omnipresent Deon Figures again is on the stop.
Well, that was a super cut by Garrison Hurst. Just, you know, to make that, he hurt his ankle a little bit. I saw him grab his ankle. Deon Figures, the weight of Deon's body was on his back. You know, he's had a history of bad ankles since he was in college, so that one was pressured by the added weight of Deon Figures.
Third down and 5 comes up. Blake, 18 of 32 for the day for 200 yards. He's been picked off, though, 3 times. And the play clock runs down and out.
Delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, that happens to you because the Pittsburgh's defense, they show you so many fronts. They move into blitz formation, they back out of blitz formation. They move into one defensive coverage in disguise and then shift into another. So as Blake starts to change plays,
and that brings up Bieniemy and Carter into the backfield on 3rd down and 10 for the Bengals. Tie game. Here comes a Steeler blitz, and Blake goes down, and he has fallen on hard, and there's a penalty marker, unnecessary roughness. It'll be a first down for the Bengals. Jason Gilden with a personal foul hitting the quarterback when he was down.
Personal foul, number 92 on the defense. Right here. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
An expensive penalty here, Beasley, as Jason Gilden is the guilty party.
boy, once again. Oh, see, you can't do that. Oh, come on,
you get thrown out
man.
of the game for that.
Oh, you can't do that. That's totally unnecessary.
Looking to take a quarterback out. He took 4 or 5 steps at him.
And then lunge his body and shoulder into Blake's upper extremity, like in the head almost. I hate to say in the head. You wouldn't want to think a player would do that.
But could be a critical mistake in this tight game. It's tied up at 24, and the Bengals, instead of having to punt, now have first down. Blake on a rollout. I wonder why they haven't tried this more, as the throw to Pickens is good to the 34-yard line. Blake at his very best, firing on the run.
Well, Don, they told us that they were going to roll Blake out a lot today, but I think that game plan was in place because of the 10 sacks the last time they played. So to move the pocket and to help ease the pressure, that was the plan. But since there's only 1 sack today, they haven't been doing it a lot.
To go. This is Kijana Carter. Not much happening for him as he met up with Olszewski, the inside linebacker, number 55, as Houston continues to win at New Orleans. Tampa Bay in every game, fighting it out with the Raiders down in Florida. Former Steeler coach Tony Dungy now coaching the Buccaneers. St. Louis humiliated at Pittsburgh last week. Either you quit or you come back and play well, and that's apparently what they're doing today. One of the Ram players, Zach Wiegert, told his former Nebraska teammate Brendan Steyer of the Steelers that he has players on his team that quit in that game. It's printed. There's a throw. Harold Pickens gets it and goes down at the 28-yard line. A 2nd down and 10 play. Good for a gain of close to 6.
Now that's a great play by Blake. He sees Carnell late coming in. There's 37 coming in on the blitz. And look how quickly this play gets off. And Blake throws it behind and away so that Pickens can stop, step back away from the defender, and make the reception.
They're really targeting Deion Figures. But apparently that knee that he received the bullet in is responding well, because he's back playing great football. There's a throw and a catch, and again they're going at Deion Figures. On the 3rd down play, David Dunn is down inside the 24-yard line, and he has a first down. Deion Figures underwent patella tendon surgery after he was shot in the knee 2 years ago, and does not have the mobility he had when he came out of Colorado, as you point out, as a #1 draft choice.
Here's the receiver in motion. Comes up and breaks out.
Blake. Pickens somehow comes down with the ball and gets it down close to the 20-yard line. Deion Figures is the target of this Cincinnati offense. They're going at him on every single passing down now.
This is a response to the blitz that they see coming. It's a quick blitz adjustment. These cornerbacks are playing so far. The corners are playing so far off these wide receivers that is a easy adjustment, the stop route.
And Pickens has now passed Bob Trumpy in career receptions. Quick out to Pickens. There's a penalty marker.
So Chad Brown is either very fast or he was offsides.
Well, they clearly have seen something. This is one of the most remarkable things I've seen. I've never seen, other than when Coryell coached at San Diego, an offense target one player on a defense and go at him every single play on a passing down. They've gone after Deion Figures 7 times throwing the ball in this drive. And now the Bengals think the call is against Pittsburgh. So we'll see if they continue to go at number 21, Deion Figures, who underwent major knee surgery in 1995 as a result of that shooting in Los Angeles, his native city. A bullet severing his patella tendon. And now they think he does not have his quickness back, because they keep going at him and they keep beating him. Beasley. Chris Collinsworth, the career leader for the Bengals, with 417 receptions in just 8 years.
Yard penalty, still short of the first down, second down.
And there's Figgins at 301, just move ahead of Bob Trumpy. And he'll climb that list before his career is done.
Climbing it today as Pickens has been the hub of the offense from the receiving end. 12 receptions for over 100 yards today. Now 12 for 103 yards total offense.
And see, this is the second week in a row that the Steelers have given up 100 yards to a wide receiver. Isaac Bruce had 100 last week. Pickens is so difficult to defend. You don't want to bump and run him because of his speed and leaping ability. You play off of him. They go with the stop patterns.
This time they bring two receivers to the right. On second and less than a yard, they send Darnay Scott in motion on Deion Figures' side. The pitch back. Hard hit put on Garrison Hurst. I don't think he got there. We'll see as the linesman comes in. Chad Brown makes the stop.
Well, the critical point for Cincinnati right now is to not make a mistake. Chad Brown, look at him go down the line, searching. This is on the other side of the field that he involves himself into play. But Jeff Blake has got to protect the football right now. They're in position for a field goal in this tight contest.
And once again, we have that overmatch as it's been in this drive. Pickens is against Deion Figures at the top of your screen. Will they go that way? Or will they run it? They run it. John Carter doesn't run much. This Steeler defense, led by Brenston Buckner and Jason Gilden, makes the stop. Spot of the ball will be about the 12-yard line.
Well, Blake and Pickens and Darnay Scott, they are famous for those lob passes into the corner. From this far away from the goal line, they've got enough room to line the receivers up inside, fake an inside route, and then break to the corner.
Now Darnay Scott goes wide to the left. Also out wide left is a tight end, Marco Battaglia, rookie. Here is a throw and a catch to John Carter, putting on moves. He's inside and he's in. And the Bengals take the lead. 6:39 to go in the third in the ball game, and they have a 30-24 lead on a 12-yard pass play. Extra point coming up.
That was so nicely done. They had a double team on Pickens, and that's the reason there was no one there to come and challenge Kajana Carter immediately. They thought, as I described, that they would throw the ball into the corner.
And another ball for Mom. And another extra point try in this high-scoring game coming up for Doug Pelfrey. The last one, an errant snap, was beautifully fielded by Lee Johnson, the holder. This time, snap set down all good, and so is the extra point. And with 6:39 left to play in the game, the pressure's now on the Steeler offense. They'll get the ball when the Bengals kick off.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by MetLife. Get Met. It pays. By Nike. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Okay. And here's the big touchdown. Watch being suckered Gilden as he comes in on the play. Kajana acts like he's going to block him and then moves out, and then this little move freezes Osowski and sets up the block, and then nicely, easily into the end zone.
Now the kickoff by Lee Johnson, a high spinner that Eric Pegram fields at the 15. He's to the 30, and Pegram gets the ball out close to the Pittsburgh 34-yard line. As there's a timeout on the field, and the NFL on NBC continues.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now to enjoy a hot and delicious Domino's Pizza during the game. For hot and wow, call Domino's now.
Back at Cincinnati, they've got something to celebrate, but the Steelers aren't done yet. Although the Steelers' offense in the fourth quarter has not been very effective. You see, in the whole season so far, one touchdown.
One touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Two by the Pittsburgh defense in the fourth quarter. Bengals by 7. Tomczak and the Steelers go to the run as the handoff is to Jerome Bettis. This Cincinnati defense rising up.
Well, they had 10 of 11 men in on the tackle that time. That's when you know a defense is fired up, is when they stand the guy up and everybody comes in and dives into the pile. Nobody's conserving any energy. Everybody's running.
Well, they're going to blitz Tomczak. He wants to go deep. Tomczak takes the drop, looking deep, fires the ball, and it's tipped. As the ball, Bo Orlando got a finger on the ball. The free safety was looking at Charles Johnson.
Well, it's a wonder nobody intercepted this one. Bo Orlando breezed it the entire way. Spencer's in great position. Watch Orlando come underneath. Orlando thought he had it. It's a bad throw. Bad throw. If it's lower, Johnson either catches it or Orlando knocks Johnson out because he was moving at the right angle.
Look at that. The Patriots come back and win, and what a win for the Bills today at Philadelphia. Here's a ball down to Cordell Stewart. Intercepted. It is picked off by Jimmy Spencer. And he has the ball, run back, and he'll be down at the 30-yard line on a sensational play. So the Bengal defense has been intercepting balls all season, picks off a huge one. The Steelers' second straight possession ending with a Bengal interception of Tomczak. Garrison Hurst turns it wide. And he gets very little there as we'll look at the last pick.
Here's Bo Orlando. He's going to drop to the middle of the field. The ball is thrown on this hash mark. That's a very easy play for free safety. The pump fake doesn't fool anybody. Look at Bo cover the ground and sets up his teammate Spencer for the interception. Nice break on the ball. Nice alertness by Jimmy Spencer. There's Bo Orlando.
Tomczak ready, you got another chance. His team down by 7. Blake throws near side, and it's almost picked off as again they go back at Deion Figures. It's absolutely remarkable. Every pass play they're going at Figures.
See, that was not a good throw by Blake. I mean, once this play is disrupted, he should never throw this. Figures almost takes this. That would have been a devastating mistake.
Well, it's third down, and now Deion Figures comes to the near side against Darnay Scott. And he's playing 15 yards off him. And that is where Jeff Blake is looking, but he throws up the middle, gets David Dunn. He turns it up inside the 40, and he's down inside the 35-yard line with 4:58 to play. Myron Bell brought him down, but 36 yards downfield.
Well, Myron Bell couldn't catch Dunn on the kickoff return. This time, fortunately for Pittsburgh, look at the move right here. That little move is what a move. And Myron Bell this time is able to run Dunn down with the angle.
Now the Steeler defense has to try to strip the ball and get it back.
Well, the most important thing is for Blake to be careful with this ball. Give his team a chance to kick a field goal.
Garrison Hurst turns it up and comes inside the 30-yard line down to the 29, where LaVon Kirkland makes the stop. And good to see LaVon back in the game. You remember he was shaken up in the first half and seemed to be in some pain with a leg injury. He makes the stop, and time becoming a factor now and working against Bill Cowher and the Steelers.
Well, this defense is famous for making plays, and Cowher's defense has got to make a play now, because if Cincinnati kicks a field goal, forcing the Steelers to have to score twice, the odds get very thin in Pittsburgh's favor.
handoff. Straight ahead. Garrison Hurst protecting the ball. He has the ball to the 22-yard line. He has a Cincinnati first down. The safeties, Lake and Perry, make the stop, and Bruce Coslett with his offensive coordinator Kenny Anderson next to him. What a sensational job Coslett and his staff have done turning this team around.
Win or lose today, Coslett has done one heck of a job.
The players talk about how he talks to individual people at halftime rather than giving big overall speeches to the entire roster. He knows who to motivate on the team, and they in turn get the rest of the team going. They're going right back to the run as Garrison Hurst protects the ball, and those Steelers are hacking at it. Jason Gilden brings him down. And now a timeout on the field with 2:53 to play. And the Bengals in command at the moment.
Next Sunday at noon Eastern, a big doubleheader. First, John Elway leads the AFC's top team, the Broncos, against Drew Bledsoe and the red-hot Patriots. Then Jerry Rice and the incomparable 49ers host the high-scoring Ravens. Or Dan Marino and the Dolphins face the Oilers. Or regional action. The NFL on NBC next Sunday.
Jeff Blake and the Bengals looking to control the ball and the lead. Second down comes up when play resumes. They'll need 12 yards for the first down. See Blake's numbers. The 3 interceptions were expensive early, but he's settled down since then and could be approaching a 300-yard passing day. Hand off to Garrison Hurst. And a terrific play by Levon Kirkland, a 265-pound linebacker, runs him down, and that brings up third down, but there is a marker down apparently on the play. Pickens, the leading receiver in the game, offside against the Steelers.
Jeff Blake held the snap count so long that in the Steelers' preparation for the blitz, they finally came offside before the snap. Watch Osofsky here. See, the snap count was held so he's trying to stop. He's trying to get his body back and couldn't get his body back before the snap.
Jeff Bengals get the down over now with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left to play. Here's Mike Carey.
Defense number 55. 5-yard penalty, still second down. Reset the game clock to 2:48.
They're putting on 15 seconds to 2:48.
Don, Jeff Blake is doing a great job changing that snap count because they know that Pittsburgh is going to blitz, try to put pressure, force a turnover with the game clock winding down. And Blake and the Bengals have done a super job varying the snap count.
And staying away from interceptions, which was his nemesis earlier in the game. But the Bengals making the big plays when they had to make them. They've come back and taken the ball from Tomczak twice in interceptions and also forced him into a fumble. Pitch back. Darren Perry makes the stop as the Bengals keep the clock running at the 7-point lead on the run by Garrison Hurst. And now the Steelers are taking one of their allotted timeouts. They have 2 remaining. Back to Cincinnati, where the chill factors have taken it way down. But the jungle, as this ball yard is known when the Bengals are going good, and they are going good today, has been a big backer of this Cincinnati team as they look to send Bruce Coslett off the field as the only Cincinnati coach in the history of the franchise to win his first 3 games. He and David Shula tie with 2-0 records to start their careers. It was Shula that Bruce Coslett replaced 3 weeks ago. Third down. Bengals with a 7-point lead, need 3 yards. The enemy doesn't get much. Steelers hitting hard. That was Bill Johnson who knocked him down. And the Steelers call another timeout. They're down to 1. The fastest coaches to win 50, well, Bill Cowher is certainly among them. The youngest coach ever to take a team to a Super Bowl. George Seifert winning 50 games in his first 62 with San Francisco, as did Paul Brown in his first 62 games with the Cleveland Browns. Cowher was 38 years old when he took the Steelers into that Super Bowl in Phoenix last January. 5th year, he's going to have his 5th playoff team in succession. And here's Pelfrey with the most important field goal attempt. He makes it. The Bengals would lead the favored Steelers by 10 points. Pelfrey 14 for 16 for the year. Good again. And the resurgent Bengals move closer to their 3rd straight win. Here's penalty markers. As players start up after the field goal.
Well, if the Cincinnati Bengals started this fight, he needs to be taken to the woodshed.
They're celebrating like they've got it won, and they don't.
No, they don't.
2:27 still to play in this game, and the Steelers will get the ball back. The penalty markers all thrown after the field goal was signaled good. There is the rookie Jeff Blackman, a draft choice from Illinois, who was called on to start.
You know, Kozil is Blackman offsetting, but Kozil is talking to Blackman as if he got into the fight when his team just kicked a very important field goal. That would be a major rookie mistake. They're very lucky if it's offsetting and no problem.
There are dead ball fouls on both teams. Personal foul on number 96. Personal foul on number 56 on each team. Both players are ejected.
So Kozil pulled his rookie lineman, Blackman, over to the side and said, "Son, what are you thinking?" And as I said, if a Bengal was involved in that, he is not thinking.
Well, somebody was involved each way because the personal foul was called each way and it was offsetting. And now apparently there was another call against the Bengals because they're setting it all back. They'll kick off from their 30. And the Steelers have to score fast, as Bill Cowher getting a clarification from the referee. Lee Johnson will kick off.
Well, in that situation, if your team is up by 10, you let a guy beat you up if he wants to.
They will kick off at the regular spot, so there was offsetting penalties.
Here are the takeaways and the result. Fumble resulted in an interception, interception to a touchdown, interception to a field goal. With the Cincinnati Bengals taking advantage of their takeaway.
And the Bengals, as they've done in coming back to win from behind the last 2 weeks in the second half, have allowed the Pittsburgh offense a total of 3 offensive plays in the 4th quarter. Bengals controlling the ball and the game as they now lead at 34-24, scoring 17 unanswered points, 10 of them in the 4th quarter. Johnson with a kickoff down to the 8. Here comes Ernie Mills. Loses his footing at the 23-yard line, and there Tomczak and the Steelers go 1st and 10.
And Blackman's going in the locker room. I don't know if he was thrown out of the game or...
Yeah, he must have been. Blackman was thrown out of the game. That's been confirmed.
Well, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but he's crazy to get involved in a fight when his team is about to beat one of the best teams in the NFL, or maybe about to beat.
Tomczak with extra wide receivers. Bengals come with a 3-man rush. A timing pattern picked off. And it could go back for a touchdown. Tomczak makes the tackle short of the goal line, but Roger Jones sets the Bengals up for another score. Roger Jones with the pick. And that will do it. Not only will the Bengals win it, but if they score again, they'll win by an overwhelming margin. The 4th turnover of the game by Pittsburgh.
This is great timing, great position. Roger Jones steps in right in front of the play. Just watch Jones dropping back. He was in tight to the body of the formation, dropped back right into the line of Tom Zach's throw.
And Cincinnati, Ohio is a town in celebration. This is a team that went to the Super Bowl following the '88 season, then fell on hard times. David Shula dismissed his head coach after a 1-6 start when a number of times they came so close to winning. And now, as Tom Zach will look at his numbers for the day, last 3 drives have ended in interceptions of Mike Tomczak. And apparently the Bengals aren't even going to try to score. They're just going to down the ball and let the clock run out. And the fans don't like that as we get down to the 2-minute warning. But the Steelers are out of timeouts and about out of luck. A lot of passes put in the air and a lot of them picked off, 3 each way.
Well, big games, and it's a really big game for Cincinnati, but it turned into a big game for Pittsburgh. In big games, this is what happens. And the defensive backfield coach right here for Cincinnati, Ron Meeks, team with 23 interceptions. That's about as good as it gets. Sitting next to him, Larry Peccatello, the defensive coordinator. Those 2 men did one heck of a job.
When the Bengals had to make plays, they did, and they elect not to score points. Can you believe that? They're booing this team beating Pittsburgh. As time is running out on the Steelers, they're powerless now to stop the clock. David Duval had a great start yesterday, and he has the lead after day 1, but 7 of the biggest names in golf are in pursuit. Coming up next, the exciting conclusion of the EMC Golf Skills Challenge right here on NBC. As right here on NBC, the Cincinnati Bengals looking to extend their victory streak under new coach Bruce Coslett to 3 straight. And again, Blake downs the ball, and the clock continues to tick on down. The Steelers out of timeouts. They will leave Cincinnati with a 7-3 record, and the Bengals will now get ready to go to Buffalo under Coslett with an overall record of 4-6 on the year.
Well, one of the ways you win football games is to keep the ball away from the opponent. Cincinnati won the time of possession in the first half. They won it by an overwhelming margin, over 6 minutes, in the second half of play. This is a nice time in Bruce Coslett's life. You know, you get your shot as the head coach in the Jets organization. He learned so much from that experience. And taking full advantage of his second opportunity. No Bengal coach has ever won his first 3 games. You're about to see a first.
He appointed by Mike Brown, the president of the Bengals, as an interim coach after the firing of David Shula. But that's all going to be changed, and you can be sure he's going to be getting a big and extended contract. As Pickens and Scott, the 2 wide receivers, you know, they've got good hands to do the dumping of the Gatorade.
They won't drop the bucket. Now look, they're planning right now. See, they're getting the game plan together. They're getting a plan together. I tell you, it's hard now. The defense has to go out there and actually play some football for 31 seconds.
Bruce Coslett thinking long term. You've got to meet the Steelers twice a year. Rather than drive it in for another touchdown, he elected to let the clock run down, but they run out of downs, and now the Steelers do have the ball. 31 seconds left, but Pittsburgh down by 10.
Now, no receiver had better not. I would not let anybody get behind me now.
And the Steelers hand off, and John Whitman, a rookie running back, takes the ball straight ahead, and that will do it. The Cincinnati Bengals, coming from behind for a 3rd week in a row under the new coach Bruce Coslett, defeat the AFC's defending champions, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 34-24.
They blew it. Pickens And Darnay Scott blew the Gatorade opportunity.
See what kind of a class guy Cowher is, coming over in his disappointment still to congratulate Bruce Coslett. He'll be coming back to Cincinnati after this. Once again, the final score, the Bengals 34, the Steelers 24. Be with us. Next is Arnold Palmer, John Daly, and 5 other PGA Tour stars go after the first day leader David Duval at the EMC Skills Challenge. Now for Beasley Reece, this is Don Criqui. So long from Cincinnati. You've been watching the NFL on NBC.